Game of Thrones.
All right, so we are now officially live, and why am I hearing myself? That
I
is.
don't know, you're the only one that's hearing
the
yourself.
Twitch on again?
Why does that keep happening? Oh, I know why. Hold on.
I was gonna say you might have Twitch
Oh
on
my
again.
god, Evan, you're so profesh. My god.
Don't patronize me.
I was gonna say, the one that's dating the DM is patronizing him, yes.
I'm sorry, I was just teasing. You know
I know.
that.
It's like he can do evil
You can
things.
do things, Carly.
Yeah, let me do things.
Okay, you're the
Jeez.
DM. Oh, so cute. You're
Yeah.
puppy.
He's a pooper. It's a Mia.
Hello.
Yeah, that's my Mimi.
Hello.
She's my
Hello.
old lady.
Hello. Okay, hold on. Let me.
Yeah, now she's an old lady.
Okay, so if there's anyone watching this right now, we are starting at 6:30 because we just happen to have a moment where we all just happen to be free a little bit earlier Sunday evenings than our typical 7:30. That being the case, though, a couple of our players are still being just a little bit late. So actually, starting at 6:30. And hey, speak of the devil,
There's one.
there's one.
No.
Wait.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
Oh.
Almost.
Carly, by the way, this is my nephew that commented on that picture.
I felt so
Oh,
bad.
video.
I was like, I thought he was being a little fucking troll. So I
Oh,
was
that is
like,
adorable.
Or do you need to go back to
Oh, that is
school, my young
adorable.
friend? And then when he said that he was your cousin, I was like, oh, or no, I'm sorry, that he was your nephew. I
My
was like,
nephew.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Totally fine. It just made me laugh because he's 13 now. I'm like, oh my god, no, you're too old. No, go back, little
That's right,
again.
no, but my little
Little guy.
sister, she just turned 19, and I'm like, you need to stop growing.
No more.
Okay, so
Little.
it looks like we are still missing on Yip and Mistral. And
No,
No, Mistral's here.
Mistral's here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we still need Yip. We still need Yip and our daily dose of Atarax.
Dang it, come here.
Our
Why
prescription
is it
dose of
weird?
Veteran.
A little update on Gangsta Bridge, Devin.
I am wholeheartedly sorry that I haven't sent you
No.
anything. I apologize.
No, it's okay. We actually did cast another guy for the role I sent you, but I'm gonna talk to Zoe about it. But we may actually have a role that you would fit better. So,
I'm totes okay with that.
yeah.
Anything works.
Anything
'Cause
works. Yes.
We realize there's a character we haven't cast yet, and you might actually fit the role pretty well. But I'm gonna talk to Zoe about it.
Yeah, do what you have to do first. All right.
Yep.
Okay, so we are officially still missing Atarax and Yip, but I think we can go ahead and get slightly started. So yeah, for those of us watching us, welcome to the next chapter of The Song of the Wilds.
This is episode 10, y'all.
Episode 10, we have made it finally.
Milestone.
We have made it to double digits.
That's
Honestly, I'm shocked that you guys are lasting this long. I thought I would have bored you all by now.
No.
No way. Not a
So yeah, like I said before to anyone who's watching this either on Twitch or on YouTube at a later point, we are starting just a little bit early because all of our timelines just happen to meet up right at 6:30, but considering that we're still waiting on a couple people, I think this little time buffer is exactly what is needed. Hold on.
kind of weird.
Hey, Andrew, is that your work hat?
Yeah, how'd you know?
I got all dressed up for our 10th episode.
Oh my god, look at you, girl, wearing a tie.
And for how much
Nice
I
job on the-
and for how much I rave about them, I finally now have merch of my favorite show.
Hey!
I've got a Gryffindor pajama shirt on Hufflepuff.
Very
but-
nice.
I mean, technically, I have. If I can do this without breaking my chair,
Got stars in this.
Nice.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Waterboy, and I teach freshman vocal tech.
What?
Water boy, you're fired.
In high school, our freshman vocal tech teacher was leaving, and we always called him Waterboy because he claimed that he was on a basketball team. But we're like, no, you're probably just the water boy, not the actual player.
Eh.
So we made him these T-shirts. It has all our names on the
Okay.
back.
I love you, you
Aw.
love me.
We're all,
It's the Barney
we're all
theme
happy
song.
family.
Also, because he used to be a window washer, and he had to do the windows for the guy that wrote the music for Barney. And he went inside the house to clean the inside of the windows and started playing the piano, but little did he know the guy had cameras and like said on the speaker like, hey, yeah, you can stop playing the piano now and finish your job.
Oh my
That's kind
god.
of- It's kind of an asshole like move.
I mean, yeah, but you know what though? At the same time, I like high key respect that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, after you're done, yeah, go ahead. But like,
You know, finish washing the windows like you're supposed to, and you're
Yeah.
not supposed to be touching my things.
I mean, if I was like a famous dude that like wrote the music for Barney, I feel like I would probably be able to say whatever the hell I wanted.
yeah, maybe. Still,
This just in: the person who does the music for Barney is Christian Bale when someone steps in his light.
Okay.
no,
So I just got these new earbuds, and I want to see how the mic works on them. Dude,
We
I
are
can't
hearing
find
you
the-
amazingly, dude. Awesome.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
you're not quiet anymore.
Yes.
All right, so we are still just needing one last person here.
Jordan said that he was in traffic.
No, he's just speeding.
Oh,
He
okay.
that's not that much better.
No,
Did you just snitch on him on a stream?
I didn't.
Yo, he's just speeding, by the way, guys.
no, he had said it. Speeding home. I'm like, well, okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, anywho, since we've already started broadcasting right now, but we'll wait a little bit longer before we start playing because I refuse to do this unless we have a complete party here. Does anyone have any announcements?
Finally got my jobs back.
All right.
Like,
You got your job back? Woohoo! I already knew that, but let's celebrate! Yay!
I'm no longer unemployed, technically.
Been working through the whole thing. Yay.
Sweet, sexy paycheck.
Get out.
Oh, I have an announcement.
Yes.
I'm on an 11-day work week and I am really tired.
Gross.
Sweetie,
Well-
no.
Yeah. I don't
Oh,
miss those days.
jeez. Oh, wow, that's new. Okay. So apparently, I have I have my streaming software broadcasting our Twitch, our Discord window. But what I failed to realize is, Carly, I'm sorry about this, but apparently my streaming software was also capturing my webcam at the same time. So not only is there a square of me in Discord, there was a second square of me that was totally blocking Carly, Mike Wazowski style.
You should have it like that for the rest of the stream. I mean, for the rest of the stream.
No, people need to see your face.
Kevin is Davina now. He has to take all the responsibilities of.
I have enough responsibility as the DM, you cuck.
I thought that sentence was going to take a very strange, different turn, but
That's the first time I ever called you that live.
You cock.
I mean, only in private.
Whatever y'all
Hey, yo,
thought
someone
of
clip
somebody-
that.
the thought of
on
a
it.
guy calling his girlfriend a cuck is just mind-boggling to me.
I'm like crying.
Carly, we haven't even started playing yet. No tears yet.
It's lacking here.
Oh,
You're
that
the
means
person
you guys
that
have
calls
some
TikTok.
special planned.
So back to the original question. Does anyone have any announcements?
Our sticker campaign is still alive. If anybody would like to purchase our stickers, I mean, there's more than stickers, but I only purchase stickers. But we have all kinds of things that you should check out. izzycosplay.redbubble.com.
And also the Patreon.
Yeah, I have a Patreon too if you like cosplay stuff. It's Pride Month on my Patreon if you guys want to come check it out.
Nice.
I just turned on my light.
I actually have yet to.
Go ahead.
I actually have yet to get my notebook.
There we go.
It's destroying me inside. I want to have it like on a weekend, and I just want to casually lift it up, like I'm taking notes on it. My dream is for all of you to be like, "Oh my God, Carly, what's that? Oh, Izzy, do you want to tell them where you can buy this really awesome notebook?"
Am I still okay? People can still see me then. I have.
that little
Also, Dakota's gone. Just letting everybody know.
yeah, we lost our guest member.
Died.
By the way, I would just like to point out, Carly,
Guys, got mood lighting.
I would just like to
You.
point out, Carly, you'll like this. Because you and your
I'm the only
you-
one that will like this. Evan, there are more people in this chat.
Let me fucking talk.
You are taking none of my shit today, and I'm living for it.
Is that?
when D&D starts, I'm no longer your boyfriend. I am your DM. But Carly, you just kind of reminded me of this one character.
Expect nothing else.
Okay, can I finally finish my sentence?
Come on.
Carly, mute yourself.
Okay.
I don't trust you.
Carly, mute yourself if you have a disadvantage on your first roll.
Thank you. Carly just kind of reminded me one character that I'm especially proud of. If I'm ever a player in a campaign, I've created a goblin artificer who's basically, he's got an Elvis haircut. And his entire persona is that he's like a used car salesman. And like all of life is like a 90s commercial for him.
Oh my God.
I was gonna say it better not be the one that you showed me for the thing that I'm gonna do.
What thing did I show you?
The one character.
Carly unmuted herself.
Oh, Reginald Masterson Aberdeen Myers.
Excuse me, Mr. DM, I have a question. Does he have a fanny pack?
Yes, he does have a fanny pack. And no, I created Reginald, I'll just call him Reggie, as like a mix
So fanny pack is a bag of holding.
Yes, it's a tiny little miniature bag of holding. But I created Reggie to basically be a mix of... Oh god, what? I had a list of characters he's based off of. Well, he might be the devil.
He might be.
He might be the devil. Carly, no one is gonna know who Jack Dandy is.
No! That's not what I was gonna say! Tell him about his butler!
I'm not there yet. I'm trying to figure out the other people he's based off of. Not everything has to be about that movie, The Vivitch.
The Witch, and it's great. and
They
it's the most
spell it with
adorable
2
horror
V's.
That's how. I didn't really love the witch that much, but that's just me.
But he has a
movie, but
he has a satyr manservant named Philip.
and he has black hair.
I was gonna say, is he a black satyr?
No, because here's the thing. With how Reggie sounds, he already sounds like a plantation owner, and I don't want to make that parallel.
Potentially problematic.
So no, my butler is white. He has black hair.
Okay. Well, I meant like the fur. Is the fur?
The fur is black. The skin is white.
I was
likes
more
to
going
serve
for that.
butter for people that like to live deliciously.
Andrew, what did you do?
Oh, muted.
Andrew,
Someone said
please
to
come
click
back,
the
we
cuck
missed
thing,
you.
so I did.
Click the what?
The cuck thing.
Oh, that's why you did it.
Carly, you're a cuck.
Enjoy that. You're welcome.
Izzy, I know that you might not because it might be a little too mature. Make that into a sticker.
It'll be a very elegant one.
It'll be a special sticker for only the people in the
This sticker you can only get if you decide to sign up for the soon-to-be-announced Song of the Wild's OnlyFans.
Yes, for all the bird OnlyFans. I forgot, what did we call it last time?
Pornography for bird.
Yeah, okay, so let's go with that.
It's just birds.
Only feathers.
I mean, technically,
Only
we should
feathers.
give this a mature rating, so we could.
Okay, you know what would actually be kind of cool? And this is partly joking, but also partly not really. If we actually wanted to do a beach episode and put that on the OnlyFans, because that's where it gets spicy.
We can make that happen.
I mean,
I'm sure between I'm sure between
Derpdog96, thanks for logging on, dude. And also, because you kind of got me worried the last time you joined my guilt stream, what time is it over there?
yeah.
Because the one thing I will always get worried about is if people don't get enough sleep in their lives.
It took me a second to realize what you meant by your guilt stream, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
What's that?
Hey,
It's 12:47 in the morning for him on Monday.
What the? So, is an
Oh,
Oz
was that?
then?
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's like,
Fucking Aussie, mate.
Jesus.
Just suddenly Australian.
Yeah, but now Australian. Okay.
I'm an emu, don't you know?
Actually, emus are from here.
there's a girl in the campaign that we're in. Her name's Izzy too. She's from Australia.
I thought she was New Zealand.
Oh, I thought she was from Australia.
Fight.
Oh,
Fight.
Derpdog's in the UK.
Oh, well.
Nerd.
Did you just say nerd?
Oh yeah, the UK.
Nerd.
dogs have
Hi.
this-
Wow, Derpdog, that's awesome. Derp, you are officially our very first European follower.
We went international. Yay!
We've gone international, people.
Mr. Worldwide. Mr. Worldwide.
I believe Redbubble ships worldwide, so feel free to check out our Redbubble shop. All proceeds go to charity.
All pre-sales go to charity.
we just take your money before we give you anything.
You say no to this face.
So fucking cute.
Okay,
This precious fucking bean.
Izzy, I officially would like to request that be the next sticker. Just to zoom in on the owlbear's face, and it would just say, "Would you say no to this?"
Wait, no, we would put the owl bear in Mariah Reynolds from Hamilton red dress, and it's saying next to it, "Would you say no to this?"
I mean, at
I
some
like the idea of like parodying that old like National Lampoon like poster where it says, "Watch our stream or we'll shoot this owl bear."
Oh no!
I would never ever forgive you.
Izzy, make it happen.
I would love the Mariah Reynolds, a bear in a red dress. Would you say no to this sticker?
Which, by the way, oh my god, that reminds me. I'm not sure if we've ever talked about this in the Discord. So I'm actually going to officially link it. But, oh no. Oh no,
Oh,
did
no,
they?
somebody already took Song of the Wild's OnlyFans.
Oh, for real?
I don't know. I highly doubt it.
Sorry, just like
I thought that you were like looking it up.
Here we go. Okay, so apparently a group of people like took the complete like the complete album of Hamilton and they made an entire Critical Role version of it.
Oh wow.
So good.
It is really good. It is spot on.
Good.
But the reason why I talk about this is like, okay, quick question. Like, I know I've asked this before, but I'm an idiot who keeps forgetting. How do any of you actually watch Critical Role?
Hell yeah.
I've seen a bit.
Nope.
I
I
haven't.
cosplayed as 2 characters from that. You can find that on my Instagram at Carlaco Cosplay.
And your TikTok, yeah, I was gonna say.
The reason I ask is because the whole Mariah Reynolds red dress thing made me think one of Carly's and I's favorite song is it's that song Tell Me How to Say No to This, but it's Grog singing about that cursed talking sword Craven Edge.
Oh no! Fantastic, and I love every minute of it. Because
Josh the Human follows us.
Yeah.
Hi, Josh!
Josh, thank you so much for joining, dude.
Just so you know, Astrid and Benedict, the characters that we play on this tag on TikTok called Demi Hero, which is very new. Shit's gonna go down, and it's gonna be great.
Is there? It's just. It's
I-
unfolding.
You better. I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't know that this was a real thing.
Ooh.
I mean, he already called me a cuck.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, okay, in a tag that I'm in on TikTok, Mind Benders, shit's going down and it's making me cry. And you know what? It really be like that sometimes. That moment when you just really love fictional characters a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, that tag the word Brian, I've like sobbed my eyes out many a time making the TikToks from that.
Josh the Human is hosting us.
Ooh.
What?
Oh, dude, awesome. Thank you so much.
Wow.
For those of you who don't know, to be hosted means that now our stream is being shown on their channel as well as ours at the same time.
Legally.
Legally.
Very legally. That's actually really nice. Thanks.
Thanks, Josh.
That wasn't sarcasm. That was an actual thing. Sorry.
No, you're okay. You sounded okay.
There's some people who don't like. Leah can vouch. My sarcasm tone is the same as my speaking tone, and it's very hard to.
Oh, Carly and I.
I've gotten in trouble.
You're awesome at the sarcasm.
Oh, Carly and I have so many moments where we can't tell if the other's kidding or not.
That's the worst part of like you're so good at sarcasm that like it's the same, and you're like, I have to clarify. Hang on.
Yeah.
Kind of like how you guys, how you didn't realize that I was joking, that I was saying that I never wanted to play with you guys again.
Oh no, I knew.
I figured you were joking, but it was kind of like when you wrote that, I was like, shit. Okay.
Oh, Josh is playing his own D&D session in the back on his end, but he's having us play in the background. Nice, dude.
Nice. Well, hopefully.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully we will be entertaining background noise.
Yeah, we are waiting
Hopefully I
for the
don't fall
dragonborn.
asleep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're about
waiting for our healer.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
waiting for our
That
healer.
sounded way more sarcastic than I meant it to. I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, we still need our healer. And oh, right, I was gonna link Critical Role Hamilton in here.
Oh my gosh,
We
that
I'm
just
sorry, I'm
reminds me
listening.
of the I recently bought an unset for Magic the Gathering, and one of the cards was Alexander Clamington.
Yes. It was.
I gotta get back into Magic.
It's a good game. Like
I
Skullgirls. You
actually
guys should play
have,
Skullgirls. Play Skullgirls.
I want to
have
play
Skullgirls.
Skullgirls. I've never had an opportunity to.
This is a good game.
I actually have an alliance. Oh, I'm sorry if I didn't. Bad. Please continue.
No, that was it.
I actually have a Eliza chain that my best
Ooh.
friend has the Angelica one. We got them
Okay.
at the last one that we went to.
There we go.
It was super cool, and it's like one of my prized possessions.
Aww.
The healer is 10 minutes away.
10 minutes away. Wow.
You might as well start.
Okay,
Yeah,
give
it was
me.
7. We were supposed to start at 6:30, and
I know,
Yeah.
but I wanted to give some people a chance to get here and such, but it's all right. Okay. So, without further ado, unless anyone has any other announcements.
Yeah.
Play
do
Skullgirls.
you want to link Izzy's Redbubble so that people know where to buy our merch?
Ah, hold on.
Buy that merch. Buy that merch.
Has a
I
link.
look at merch.
Buy that merch for the charity reason. Buy the merch for the charity reason.
I'm trying to find the
Yeah,
link.
that's the-
Izzy,
that's
you
a
have way
good-
too
that's
much
a
rhythm to
good
be
way
that
to
bad
go.
right now.
I am also very tired because I've been up since 5:30.
What the hell?
Why?
Ew, girl.
And
McLean goes to work at 5:30, 6 o'clock, so I'm awake.
The
I
sky's
had to be at work at
awake.
9, so I
So
feel that on a
I'm
spiritual
awake.
level.
Exactly. Yep.
Why the meme already?
All right.
It is what it is.
So, unless anyone has any other announcements here,
Sorry.
Wait, I have one last one. I love you all. Okay, we can start.
You're good. Okay.
You win this round.
all right. So, without further ado, if I can get this working, hold on.
Without any lollygagging or further ado.
Yes, without us derping.
3 minutes late, but it's
Where we last left off our heroes, the Hunter Warriors of the Greyblades, they have been tasked with a brand new mission. They were told by their superior, Volthric the Giant Knight, not really a giant, but he is very big.
I was about to say, should I write that down? Because
No, you don't have to write down every little thing I say.
Just listen.
Just
I
listen.
don't have to write down.
Now being assigned to report to him directly, he tasked them with another mission to seek out a spot of ruins in the grasslands of Hatterack. After a quite eventful airship ride with some wyverns to the grasslands, they were able to get there, where they found the very foul-smelling outpost. It was alright, though. The foul smell was actually a defense technique to try and keep the monsters away without using open flames, where you might accidentally burn down the entire grasslands. They took one of those giant wind sled vehicles all the way to the ruins, and that's where they met a companion Greyblade who was already there having his own investigation during his time, a Greyblade scout named Boz. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. However, it was in these ruins that all of the group started to have strange visions about this place, and that's when they learned this place was some kind of ancient airship port. And these visions seemed to show images of people running through the port onto these little shuttle airships, rising up to what they could only see as the most massive airship they have possibly ever seen in their lives. And then the vision ended. And I would just like to point out, only the group saw that image. Boz did not.
Right.
And And that's where we are right now. So, where the party is right now, they've just had that giant group-wide vision where they saw quite possibly the most advanced massive airship ever in history, known and unknown, and then the vision ended with still a lot of ruins to explore. What are you all gonna do?
How long was that vision for them in real time?
In real time, only like a second. But for them, it was more like 20 seconds.
Okay, then I wouldn't have noticed. All right.
You would not have noticed. You're kind of busy. You're kind of busy doing your own thing, like taking charcoal sketchings of like the ruins walls and such.
Standing there silent, like staring into space for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, they all touch the orb and they're like.
I was thinking about this all week. I'm like, how long were they sitting there for?
So,
all right.
What's happening?
I think I would turn around and be like, okay, like to the group, not to Boz, sorry to exclude you, and be like, okay, did everybody see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I will be temporarily taking over Atarax until our final party member gets here. He goes like, well, that was... I'm not sure how to describe that. That's the best impersonation I have of Atarax. Thank you very much.
Jordan's characters, like, they're all like this, and I love them so much.
I love that.
He is best boy. Like, I'm really sorry he stole that title from you. Like, he is a pure being, and I want to protect.
It's fine.
I love Atarax.
Everyone does.
And
Your
his
daily
swirls.
dose of Atarax.
I take off. Okay, so I want to be clear. We're in like a place that's like set up for this sort of thing, right? Like this is like a ship dock or something.
Okay, so apparently where you are now is you're inside some massive underground bunker that has like very large chambers. Like you went down the stairs and the first room you encountered was like the first large like cubish room of this bunker. And then you all went through a second hallway. And then you came out into a much larger room, which seemed to be structured more like a giant, massive lobby area.
I feel like this would be a good time for me to use one of my proficiencies.
Oh, what is that?
Stealth.
Why do you want to use stealth?
I don't know, to sneak ahead and see if I can find out what's going on.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. You can certainly do that. You'll do a stealth check first, but then right after that, I will make you do an investigation check.
Okay, which
So-
is also a +3.
So roll for stealth first, and then roll investigation.
All right. Well, that's a 12.
Okay, you actually are, that is actually good, that works. So you are able to make your way, able to sense out the softer patches of the ruined floor, taking care to step on the little spots of, like, the dirt and plant life that is somehow, like, poking through the cracks and such. So you're able to actually move around relatively quietly, and then again,
Before
this...
I go, I turn to my team and I say, I'll be right back.
Your voice, this room has very good acoustics, so the slightest thing can echo, but you're able to kind of muffle your voice a little bit to minimize the echo. It's not eliminated, but it's better than nothing. So you're able to silently kind of make your way deeper into the room. The room is massive, but it's all just a single chamber. All right, I will have you now do your investigation check.
Okay, please don't let this just have been a waste of my time. 13?
That also actually works.
Okay.
All right. So as you look around, your gaze is more focused on the floor of this massive chamber, and you're able to tell from like the ruined like floor patterns where the cracks are appearing, where they seem to be appearing most, where they're appearing least. You can actually see a bit of a pattern in these floors. They seem to be like almost like pathways almost. Some other things you can kind of make out are these I wouldn't say platforms, but they seem to be raised sections that have broken and fallen over and then just have gone into disuse for who knows how long. Unfortunately, your investigation check was not high enough to get like an age window to how old these things are. However, you can tell just by kind of looking at how a thing fell, if this thing were standing upright, it looks like some kind of desk. But it was a desk that is slightly sloped on one side. So it looks like so it looks like this must have been a spot where someone would stand here and would be doing something at this desk.
Okay.
So,
I return to the team and tell them what I found.
Do you return back to them stealthily, or are you just walking now?
Can I do another stealth check?
You can if you want.
Okay, alright. One more then.
Uno mas.
Oh, nice, 21.
Yeah, you are able to perfectly not just step on the soft patches of the floor, you were able to step on the exact same ones you stepped heading towards your little investigation. So you don't make a sound, and you return to the party.
I'm back.
I want to do something.
Well, did you
Can
find
I-
anything?
Well, did you find anything, Polo?
I didn't
thought he already said
hear Yip. I'm sorry. I thought Yip was talking to you. Yes, and then I tell them everything you just said. So. That was a lot to read.
All right.
I will allow some too long didn't read moments. Though I do
Too long
encourage
didn't read.
actual role playing in this campaign.
I'm right. You're
But this will be one of those times where it's like, yeah, you can get away with it.
I'll
I
allow it.
go up to the orb and without letting Buzz kind of see this, and ask it, what were they running from? I have to do like a stealth check for that.
Well, Boz, what would you be doing right now? Like in this new room?
Let's see if he. Can I roll for perception real quick?
You can do a perception check.
Wait,
Oh.
but don't I have to do another one to like counter that?
Who's to say his perception is not directed at something else?
Yeah,
Yeah, not the world doesn't revolve around you.
I rolled a 19.
That's it.
Flat
Done.
19.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, so like I said before in last stream, the etchings and the carvings in the walls in this room seem to me just a little bit more slightly preserved than in the room before. And you can actually make out some of the words that you're seeing. Atarax is here! Oh, thank God.
Yay.
And you can actually make out some of the words a little bit better, because remember, one of the things about these runes is that any words you're able to make out in these runes are in common, which is definitely something. And again, the words that a lot of you were able to make out were people, safety, escape. And then those were in like the first room. In the second room, which is the room you're all in right now, you were able to get like a second set of words you could make out, which were vessel, reflection, and sacrifice. So right now, that's basically what you're checking out with your perception check. You yourself are now seeing these words. The first time it was just the group, now it's Boz.
Right. Okay.
Yes, Carly.
Then I go. Oh, no, Jordan, what was your question?
No, he was waving.
It's waving.
Gotcha. Can I go up to the bag and can I like ask it without Boz like noticing what were they running from?
Okay, so since this is gonna be so much of you using your hands to get into the bag and not so much using your feet to go someplace, this is not going to be a stealth check. This is going to be a sleight of hand check.
That's one of my proficiencies.
Sleight of hand?
Okay.
A barbarian?
Oh,
Plus 9 for me.
I got a 17.
Just like, look over there, axe.
I mean, I guess it's not that bad. I actually thought it was a lot more, but it was plus 2, which is still better than most of mine.
All right. You are able to successfully, like, just kind of poke your face gently in the bag. Anyone else who would be looking at you at this time, they'd only be possibly seeing someone who's just like, oh, let me just get something from the bag. It's just gonna take a moment.
Yeah.
I'm just since I am the bag holder, I'm just like, okay, whatever.
I would also like to remind
Don't worry about it, Sam.
I would also like to remind everyone, you guys have a bag of holding, which has unlimited carrying space. And not only that, but the entrance of the bag stretches, so you can put big things in there as well.
Yep.
Still somewhat within reason. So yeah, don't forget that you guys have that. So yes, Carly, what are you saying to the orb?
Where were they running from?
The orb is just kind of silent. You can kind of feel it pondering for a moment. But the orb just kind of... Yeah, you can't see the owlbear. You just see an orb, but you can feel its gaze on you, and it just goes, I don't know.
Baby.
Yeah, he's baby.
It's baby. Or
He's
the owlbear's
baby.
I think fine. We'll figure it out together.
Literal baby.
Yeah, he is a literal baby.
Yeah, baby.
You're a literal baby.
Caught him.
All right,
Yeah.
Also, thank you.
So what are you guys gonna do? You have like a whole room to explore. Are you gonna like try moving on? Are you gonna want to look around a little bit more? Remember, Boz
I
also
would
has a
say-
mission to look for a power source that apparently was detected to be in here.
Did Polo, was there any traps like around?
I didn't see any.
So
I didn't see any, right?
No, as far as you can
Okay.
tell, and you actually rolled pretty well, you're very confident that there are no actual traps in this room.
If anything, it looks like people haven't. Yeah, if anything, it looks like people haven't been there for a long time.
okay.
Precisely.
Been a
I think
long
it'd be a good idea to
day
keep going.
without you, my friend.
All right, so you all continue to venture deeper into the room. It's just massive. You just see ruined structures, more of these things that just kind of come out of the floor, but which have broken and fallen over. You don't see any like bodies or anything. Like this place, there's nothing dead in here, but there's just a void of life in these ruins.
I do a perception check to see if I can maybe find the power source.
That would no, that would be more of an investigation check.
Trying
Okay,
to get rid
I
of the signal, huh?
honestly was not sure. Okay.
Can I investigate as well with her?
Yeah, in this case you would be rolling your own investigation. So both of you would roll.
Because I got an 8.
You have no idea why you even tried looking for it, because you don't even know what this thing's even gonna look like.
Leah again.
About right.
I got. Oh wait, I have +4. 20.
Oh, a dirty
Hey.
20. All right. Arios,
Not
as
20.
as you are walking around, you actually venture a little bit further away from the group, just kind of like vibing at your own thing right now, just kind of looking at the walls, looking at the ruins and such. You come across one wall, and it looks like there's something on it. almost like, not like etchings that was carved into the wall, but like some kind of raised thing that was placed on top of the wall. And since you rolled high enough, you go over and you like brush the dust and the dirt off of this raised object on the wall. It's a sign. And like everything else that you have seen in these runes, this is also written in common. However, of course, it's like hella old. So everything has basically just been rubbed and eroded off just by basic age. But you can see what looks like 2 arrows. One pointing to the left and one pointing to the right. The one pointing on the right says living Quar. Like living Qur. And then the one pointing to the left says Jenner. And then the rest is like rubbed off. So Gener, and then the rest is rubbed off.
Cur, living cur.
No, living Quar.
War.
Living quarters, I'm guessing. Or quartz. It could be just living rocks.
And generated?
I mean, we've seen weirder shit, so I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I know, right?
An insight check wouldn't help here, right?
Not in this case. Insight checks are only used if you're interacting with another person. This is an inanimate sign.
Okay.
But in this case,
Or an inanimate sign.
in this case, it would be more of either investigation or perception.
And Arios is the only one that sees this, correct?
Arios is the only one who was able to see this sign and look at it enough to see what lettering remains on it. But it's up to Arios in case she wants to, like, or he, I'm sorry, in case Arios wants to, like, signal to everyone and point it out to them.
I think you will.
Well,
But he's
then
gonna be
do
like,
it.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, look what I
This
just
is-
found.
Okay, so I like walk back to the group and it's like, hey guys, so I found a sign back there, and so that way, I can't really tell what it might be. This way might be living quarters. I think we should maybe pick out the other way first, just to see if there's anything like, you know, any more clues as to where this energy is, power source is.
I agree. I think that's a good idea.
Sounds good to me.
Fine by me.
Okay, so you all are
So you've been rather quiet. Are you okay?
I'm just confused. Everything is just. There's a. I don't like dark spaces, although I can see rather well. It's still ominous in here.
Aw.
Oh. Anywho.
It's okay. Like before, and on our last mission, I'll protect you.
Can I like make
Thank you.
fire in my hands as a torch? Is that a thing
I already
can
have
do?
dancing lights up.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Boz has dancing lights up. So it's think
Otherwise, I do have light, which is just one light, but he has like many.
he basically has a swarm of little will-o-wisps that are just flying around. So, you guys decide to take the pathway. Wait, which hallway are you taking?
We're gonna go the way that.
Jenner.
Jenner.
I'm assuming.
We're going.
Be my guess.
Degenerate.
God.
Oh, right.
Doing the
Narrator?
degenerate.
That's
Oh.
what I've been saying, fam.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
It's fine.
so-
I don't have to speak.
All right, so you all decide to take the hallway that the left arrow seems to take. This hallway, you can see many broken down doors made of metal. There's no doorknobs on these doors, and a lot of them are busted and crooked. You can kind of see in them, but the inside is just more ruined, many smaller rooms and such. As you are walking slowly down this hall, you guys actually start to feel something. And it is a very, very, very faint vibration. That kind of like a constant hum. And you can feel it in, like, your feet. You can feel it when you put your hands on the walls.
Don't like that. I don't like that. Never a good sign.
Would it kind of be like
Better not be tiny
if
spiders
someone
again.
tremors? That kind of thing?
Not tremors. Like, it's not like the room is shaking. But if you were to just put your hand on the wall or the floor, you would just be feeling.
Okay, so
Like it's electricity. Like it's the power source he was looking for.
it could be.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
And we might as well just keep going.
Hi-ho.
All right, so you all continue to venture down this hallway. The hallway twists and turns, but there's luckily no real branches in it. You do descend some stairs, and then you come across this giant set of double doors. There's no doorknobs, and the doors themselves have busted. One of them has kind of fallen over, and you can make out just like a slight gap between the doors based on how crooked one of them is that you could that you can easily, like, wedge all of yourselves in through.
How convenient.
It's almost like it's a
Who wants to
puzzle
go
place.
first?
I'm sorry?
Who wants to go first?
Well, I guess it's my mission, so I shall go first.
All right, Boz, I would like you to give me an athletics check.
Oh, dude, I'm so athletic. I'm so freaking athletic. 16.
All right, you are able to easily wiggle your way through the gap.
Yeah.
Who's next? Okay, Davina, roll me an athletics.
Alrighty, let me check my modifier. I got a 15.
You yourself are able to easily wiggle your way through the gap. Next one.
I would assume since I'm being protected by Davina, I follow after.
Oh.
All right, so roll me athletics.
I got a 20.
A nat 20?
No, a very, very dirty 20.
That 20's so
It's a
dirty.
very dirty
20.
But there's some fake ass titties.
My God.
You are able, like, because of your smaller frame compared to the first two, you make it through the gap without even having to wiggle at all. You are just able to make it through.
Strolls through.
I'm just like strolling, holding Davina's hand as she's struggling, and I'm just like,
Oh.
what
Oh, so cute.
Thank you, Onisan.
Oh my god. There's so many kids in this game.
All right, who's next?
I'll
Well,
go.
I'm not getting stuck behind the bird and the dragon if they get caught, so I'm going next.
Okay, so Polo, you roll me athletics.
Alright.
It really be
14.
your own homie.
Okay, you are able to actually kind of muscle your way through the door. You kind of had to like push against the crooked door a bit, and some little small pebbles and dust fell on your head, but you made it through all right. Who's next?
I.
Eden.
Yep. Teen.
I'm sorry?
1-3.
1-3. All right. The gap itself doesn't really give you that many problems, but the bag holding the orb gets stuck on a jagged piece of metal.
Oh no. Can I like try and carefully unhook the bag?
You certainly can. Roll me just a basic dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Here we go. That's 4. Rips the bag.
Okay, so it does not rip the bag, but unfortunately that jagged piece of metal, you tried to pry the bag from the metal, but unfortunately it does tear the shoulder strap. So the bag itself is fine, but
Okay.
now you can't have it slung around you anymore unless you,
Oh no.
unless I could say like you can try to attempt to repair it, but
Does
at the
anybody
at
have mending?
if anyone has mending, you can get it fixed right now. Otherwise, you're gonna have to spend a long rest.
Why don't you just put everything right now in the bag of holding?
Well, because the fox is in there, and it's a living thing. And if we remember
Yeah,
from
that
The bag of holding has no air.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know what it would
Yeah.
do to the orb, and I don't know. So.
At this moment, to
Put
make
everything
at this
but
moment-
the orb and the fox in there.
at this moment, sensing your hesitation, Axel, your little fox, hops out of the bag and just starts walking on the ground next to you. And it just kind of looks around at everyone for a moment, and then it just kind of sits down, wagging its tail.
He's
I'm gonna go pet him.
baby.
Pet him.
Yeah, he just kind of nuzzles against your hand.
Oh wait, it's the first time I've seen the fox.
Yeah, this actually is your first time.
Yes, no,
Boz,
right now.
Boz, I would like you to make a perception check.
Well, using that, can I touch the orb? and ask
I might not see the fox.
if he would be okay in the.
I rolled a 10.
bag?
You rolled a 10. All right, that actually does work. You notice, and it's up to you whether you find this unusual or not, the fox is not savage. Unlike literally every other form of wildlife, the fox is not savage.
I kind of kneel down on the ground and look at him like, and I kind of like reach my hand out like, what's the word?
Like you do when you're.
Yeah, when dealing with animals and kind of, oh, you're a cute, curious little one, aren't you?
And the fox just kind of like walks up to you. He just kind of sniffs your hand a little bit, licks it, and then just kind of like rubs the top of his head against your hand.
My God.
It's like, and I just gotta say that God's help the person that hurts you, and I just stand up and like, I will never hurt them.
So yeah, all that's left is Arios and Atarax to get through the gap.
And
Yeah.
yep.
And Yip.
Yep.
So who's next?
I guess yep.
Okay, Yip, give me an athletics check.
Okay, wait, I have a question. Is the gap bigger towards the top of the big door?
No, the gap is bigger towards the bottom. That's how everyone else was
Okay.
able to walk through.
Got it.
Probably gonna have to crawl.
Got it.
Basically, think of it this way. The doors, this is how the doors should be. Now they're like this.
Okay, got it.
So you're all walking through here.
Athletics. Okay. Good thing I have proficiency. That is 15.
All right. All right. Being a monk, you were able to just effortlessly flow through the gap like water. Like, it is no problem for you. All right.
Feel like water.
Who's next?
Like Bruce Lee said. feel
Okay.
Like water.
Arios. Roll me
Alright.
roll me an athletics check.
Be good at
Okay.
should be.
All right. Nat 20, and I got -1 on my athletics, so 19.
I can't really remember, but does everyone here know what race you are?
Yeah.
No, we don't yet.
I don't think it's been revealed yet.
Okay, then I will not say anything. But you are able to just, you see, with that classic bard flourish that you have, you don't just wedge yourself through the gap. You like heavy metal power slide on your knees through the gap. And you are just like air guitaring on your flute. No, yeah, you're doing this while you're power sliding.
Davina's just like looks at you and just goes,
I just saw
fluting.
I saw Megamind a couple nights ago for the first time tonight, and I'm just Megamind comes out. He's like, "You forgot the one thing a supervillain needs: presentation."
Exactly.
Is
Megamind is amazing. All that's left is Atarax.
Oh, poor Andrew.
I'll try and run over there.
Derp. Let's see if you get stuck.
Well, I rolled a 19, and my athletics is +5, so 24.
He's good.
I was totally prepared to say that you, being a large dragonborn, get stuck in the gap Winnie the Pooh style. But no, somehow, even despite your large frame, you are and do you have wings?
You said yes.
You have wings. So somehow, despite your massive size and your wings, you are able to just easily slip through the crack, which is very impressive, by the way. So you've all made it through the gap. I swear, if any of you failed to get through this crack like you did failing to look for books in the frickin' library, I'm canceling the campaign.
I almost not to supersede you as the DM, Evan, but I almost think it would have been funny if Atarax had just broken down the hole, and we all look at him like, why didn't you just do that in the first place?
I mean, as a barbarian, my first instinct was to push this door open, and I'm excited about it.
Well, you see, that's the thing. The doors are like this. They don't open like this. They slide.
I would have
Doing the electric slide. Electric.
You would have had to do a strength check with disadvantage because these doors are like 4 times taller than you.
I mean, my strength is pretty high, so...
I mean, if you rolled like a nat 20, that would have been a clutch right there.
I'm kind of a big deal.
But you all still make it through. And this room is just like wrecked. There's like rock and rubble everywhere. But at the far end of the room, you do see something letting off this soft blue light. And I was not thinking of this when I originally thought up the concept. But what you see, like at the other end of this room, is it looks like it's in a large glass case. It is a floating, bright blue cube. And this cube, yeah, it looks like the Tesseract.
Touch it!
You can't because again, it's in a glass case.
Red Skull behind it, grabbing it.
All of a sudden, Volthric comes out from behind the rubble and he just rips off his face, and it's Red Skull.
I knew it! I knew you were charismatic as fuck and that there was a reason.
You're actually a Nazi!
It was secretly Sterling the whole time.
It was Sterling the whole time.
Oh no!
And the only way to hurt him in battle is to roll a 26.
No.
Out of
No
curiosity.
higher, no lower.
Out of curiosity, this was from like a few minutes ago. Is there anything like vaguely familiar about Arios to me?
To Arios, no. You've never met this man before. The only thing
I've never met this man before in my life.
you can kind of sense something about him that makes him think of you, but that's it.
Okay, that's all I needed.
Other than that, on a personal level, you've never met her.
That's what you just said. That's what I meant. Yeah, cool. Appreciate it.
We know your race, boss?
Y'all don't know. Your characters don't.
Say players, yes.
I don't even think I know in real life.
None of you know. He never talked about it.
You don't. You
I
guys
think so.
talk to me, guys.
We don't talk about you.
I feel like the
Can
kid
you
was.
just make canon that Ross has like emotional problems? I would love that.
Come on, guy.
I did an insight check on you. You don't complain about me not.
Come on, guy. You're not gonna die on the planet. Oh, really? Then what's my last name? It's
Guy, you have a last name.
Do I? Do I? For all you know, I'm just crewman number 6.
Oh, that's not right.
That movie is a masterpiece.
Have you guys seen Never Give Up, Never Surrender yet?
No.
Wait, what is Never Give Up, Never Surrender?
It's the Galaxy Quest documentary.
Oh, I gotta find that after we're done tonight.
It's on Amazon. I don't know if it's anywhere else.
Oh, we will find that. Anywho, back on topic. 'Cause-
I'm sorry.
Okay, so you see what is basically the Tesseract at the end of this room, encased in a large glass chamber, and you guys don't even need to roll for this, but it is letting off, like, they're harmless, they're not affecting you in any way, but you can still feel their presence. It's like just waves of just pure energy. It's not electrical or thermal or anything, but it is there. Yes, Carly.
It sure is energy.
Hmm?
Do an Arcana check?
You can certainly try.
I was gonna say, do you want to do an Arcana or do you want to do a religion check?
I could do it. Both.
Let the paladin or the cleric do the religion check.
But can I still do an Arcana check though, and
Okay.
he can do the religion?
Okay, so Davina, you will do an Arcana check, and Atarax, you will do a religion check.
Alrighty, I got a 17.
I also got a 17.
Oh my god! What is happening?
Oh.
I got God is progressing finally. Oh my god.
All right, so you do sense that the orb, the energy that it does give off does seem to be magical in a sense. It just seems to be just pure, focused, arcane energy. Like it is just pure. Like I know I'm saying pure a lot, but this thing just is a battery.
It's just pure cocaine. I'm sorry.
Is this color blue kind of like what is corresponded with one of our visions that we had? Because I wrote down like colors are running at the owlbear.
In this case, no. This color doesn't seem to match anything that you've seen before. Again, just for point of reference, this object that you see is identical to the Tesseract in Avengers. Just to give you an idea of what to look at.
That should be the thumbnail for this video on YouTube.
Oh, that's a cool idea. I like that.
It's just the green orb and the Tesseract right next to it. All right, now, since Atarax was the last one in... Well, actually, no. Both Atarax and Davina are, like, right up at the cube looking at it. Polo, based on... Well, actually, no, Yip. Because I'm going off of the order of who went through the opening in the doors first, and I'm just kind of assuming that's your formation here. Yip, I would like you to make... If you would want to... I would like you to make a perception check.
Oh, absolutely, I want to. I love perception checks. They always lead to great things. Never ever go wrong.
We have such a good track record with those.
That is a 19.
All right. As everyone seems to be looking at this cube, trying to figure out ways to, how do we get it out of this container without causing, like, a mess or too much noise or something? Yip, you hear behind you...
Don't like that. Hey guys, there might.
Wait, say that. Yip, say that again.
Guys, there might be something behind us. I don't want to turn around.
Who turns around?
I do.
I'll do it.
Okay, you all turn around, and you don't see anything behind him. Yeah, it looks like one of the rocks that was on top of, like, just a pile of rubble just kind of fell. And
Can
then
I look up?
you look up. There's nothing on the ceiling.
Okay.
But then you hear another rock fall coming off of the pile. Oh yes, Miss Strahl.
Oh, I was like, can I look down at my feet?
You see your shoes.
Are my shoes? Great. Yes, I remember to put them on.
But then, as you're all kind of looking back, you see another rock fall, like, off of that large pile. And then another. These rock... No, but they're just kind of moving towards, like, the center of the room. Which none of you are...
That's what I said, I'm scared.
And then, bigger rocks from that pile start moving towards the center of the room. And then slowly, all the... And then, yeah, have you ever seen Galaxy Quest?
Yeah. I have not seen Galaxy Quest.
It's been a long time, but yeah.
Slowly, all of these rocks... slowly all of these rocks are moving towards the center of the room, and they just start to, like, pile on top of each other one by one. And then as they're piling on top, towering over here, you just hear a...
No.
And then taking, like, in, like, a very abstract kind of humanoid form, standing on two legs, you just see this giant golem of stone. But that's
Stone
not...
golems. Why did it have to be stone golems?
But not only that, as you guys are looking at this, because I would assume, Boz, you still have your dancing lights activated at this time,
Yeah.
and they just follow the group. There is black ooze seeping out of the cracks of these rocks.
I was
I-
gonna ask if I could do an insight check.
Black.
You don't...
It always has to be black ooze.
Yeah, you guys don't have to do that.
Wait,
So,
no,
everyone roll initiative.
Oh boy.
oh, lovely.
23.
Okay, hold on. Everyone just do your rolls.
I find this roller very convenient because then I can just sit here until you're ready to ask me what number I rolled.
It's very nice.
Yes, very nice. How much?
All right, does everyone have their rolls? Don't tell me yet, but do you all have your rolls?
Yes, it's sitting right there.
Okay. 25 to 20. Yip, what did you roll?
23.
Yep, 23. All right. 20 to 15. Eden, what'd you roll?
19.
19. Mistral, what did you roll?
16.
Okay, Mistral 16. All right, 15 to 10. Atarax, what'd you roll?
13.
Say that again.
13. 1-3.
1-3, thank you.
You're
Who
on
else?
a delay for some reason.
Who else got 15 to 10? Oh, Arios, what'd you roll?
14.
Okay. All right, 10 to 5. All right, Arios, or I mean, Boz, what did you roll?
9.
Polo, what did you roll?
6.
6. And Davina, what'd you roll?
I rolled higher than you? That's a first.
All right.
Oh.
All right. Next, first up is Yip's turn. What are you gonna do?
Alright, so it's the giant golem, it's standing between, so it's us, the golem, and then the Tesseract.
No, it's the Tesseract, you, the Golem, and then the door that you all came through. So it is.
Okay, got it.
It is
so
current.
So it's directly behind me, basically.
Yes.
Alright, so Yip kind of takes that spear, kind of turns around, like, alright, I guess it's time for this.
Yeah. This you only come up to this thing's knees.
Alright.
I want to point out,
I'm
earth
tired.
types are weak against rock types. Just saying.
Yeah. But I'm also part fighting type. So it's
Ah.
neutral.
So anyway, Yip.
The baby.
So yeah, Yip. What do you do?
Alright, I guess I will attack with my spear using my 2 basic attacks, and they are magical for the purposes of overcoming resistances.
All right. Good.
'Cause I feel like a stone golem would probably resist basic bludgeoning, spear. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Alright.
Go ahead and attack.
I got a nat 1.
Oh no.
So
yeah.
proud.
Despite the fact that you were able to actually get like very good thrust, but the angle was off, and your spear just happened to like bounce off at just the right perfectly bad angle of the stone golem's face, or where its face would be, honestly, and the momentum of your own attack basically works against you, and you are basically forced down to the ground. You're not prone or anything, but you did get grounded.
Okay, so I'm down on the ground now. Okay, I'm gonna make my second attack now. Alright, that is +7, 23.
23. All right, that hits.
Alright, so there's my d8. That is 7 damage.
7 damage. All right, you are able to take your spear, and you actually are able to stab like a nice gash in what you think is the knee of this beast. You were able to get like a nice chunk of stone off of its knee, but that trunk is now just openly oozing out the black stuff.
Okay.
All right, so next up is Eden. What are you doing? Oh, yes?
I am a monk. Hold on. I am going to... I'm going to spend my a key point to do Flurry of Blows, and I'm going to target the other leg.
What kind of leg?
So that is a 19 and a dirty 20.
All right. You just go boom, 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 boom. And
Alright. And now I will have it, since I did Flurry of Blows, I want, it has to make a dexterity saving throw. DC 14.
all right. Oh, it rolled a 3.
Alright, so it is now proned.
Okay, so the beast, like, despite the fact that your fists did literally no damage to this thing, because here's the thing, your spear is magical. These hands are not.
No, they are.
They are? What are you wearing?
Yeah, because they, my monk thing, that, features and traits, I get, key empowered strikes, your unarmed strikes are count as magical. So not the spear. So half the spear damage. So 3 for the spear, and then my unarmed strikes are magic for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity.
Where does it say that? I'm on your character sheet.
Under features and traits, towards the bottom, key empowered strikes.
Oh, yes, you are absolutely correct. All right, so this thing does get some more damage. So that now brings it to... Wait, so that 7 is now a 3, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so 3
Yes.
damage. It is...
And then these 2 attacks were 7 damage and 5 damage, so 12 damage.
12 damage. All right, so that brings it to 15 points of damage right there. All right, next up is Eden. What are you doing?
Well, obviously pulling both swords out. So that would be my bonus one. And then my action. Am I close to it? Like in melee range?
You are not in melee range right now. Yip was, because the thing basically formed right behind him. So you are going to have to spend a movement to get up to melee range.
I'll move, and then I am going to attack it.
All right, roll to attack.
With 3 to hit.
All right, that definitely does hit. Give me just a moment. Hold on. How are you attacking it?
The sword.
Okay, you attack it. Your sword bounces right off the rock. Because your sword is not magical. It's just a basic sword. So unfortunately, you are able to hit it, but it's not damaged at all.
Yep, I'm useless here.
Protect the orb, get away!
Yeah, I'm gonna run away. Oh, no, I can't.
Yeah, the thing's blocking the only way in and out.
Well, no, because I also used my move, so I can't, like...
Oh yeah, that
run
is
back.
true. All right,
So-
next up is Mistral. What are you gonna do?
Okay, I hope you're ready for this.
Vicious mockery. Vicious.
Oh no,
Who
we
did
were ready
that?
for that.
I bet it would be nice.
Well, first of all,
Either
I'm
of
going to try to protect my party, and I'm going to use Bane, cast the spell Bane, to, so the creature must make a charisma saving throw, and if it fails it, it must roll a d4 every time it attacks, and subtract that number from the attacker saving throw.
All right, so this is definitely going to be a nice strategy that you guys may have accidentally done here, because here's the thing is prone right now, so it's going to get disadvantage for this saving throw here. All right, so there's that.
Wait,
What's the DC
that's
again?
not how prone works.
The DC is 15.
No. The golem has disadvantage.
No, being prone doesn't give you disadvantage on saving throws.
I'm kind of...
Oh, no, it's not a saving throw. I guess it is. Never mind. I'm not saying anything anymore.
Well, the way I imagine it, even though you did flurry of blows, the thing is on its back right now, so it's not able to do much. So because of its positioning, I'm actually allowing it to have disadvantage for the saving throw for Bane. All
right.
But what is the DC again? Oh, 15. I see it right here. Yeah, it fails both rolls.
Let's go.
It rolled a 6 and a 4. All right, so that was your action. You still got your movement and your bonus.
Okay.
Give me bardic inspiration.
I will allow you to use your bardic inspiration as a bonus action.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because that's how that works. Yeah, that's how bardic
Wait,
inspiration. Yep. Because I have magic fists. I can actually hurt it.
I am going to give you bardic inspiration.
Okay.
How do
Izzy?
you inspire him?
Yeah, how do you do it?
I whip my drum that everybody forgets about from my back, and then just start doing that kind of yeah. I can hear it in my head. I can hear exactly what I want in my head, but I don't. It's like I start playing some action music for yeah.
Mission Impossible.
For some reason, Mission Impossible is the only one I can think of.
I like that. I like that a lot.
You play the bongo part of the People's Court theme song. All right, so Yip, you are now inspired. Oh, I love this. All right, next up is Arios, our second bard. What are you gonna do?
Alright.
Double inspiration.
Have magical weapons.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Does anybody else have magical weapons?
Atarax can create one as an action.
Spiritual weapon.
I've got a couple magical attack spells.
Atarax and I are the DPS.
You guys, just to let you all know, you may not have a lot of weapons that can harm this thing, but you do have magic. Magic will definitely work.
Yeah, like spells.
I'll...
Until then, because as a barbarian, I don't have any magic except for light and healing hand.
Well, yeah, I don't have
Okay,
that.
so I'm actually gonna use bardic inspiration on Atarax.
Oh, okay.
Small friend.
You're welcome. Playing some jazzy flute there. A little beatboxing. And then I'm trying to think of what else I can use because I'm I don't think arcane.
Whoa, what the hell?
Anybody.
That was weird. There we go. There we go.
And I'm actually okay. And he's prone, right? So he's laying.
Yeah, the
down.
golem is on his back right now.
So he's on his back right now. I love only
Very
having
seductively.
spells.
I can't.
And then
do it.
I'm actually. I'm like, oh god. Okay, and then I'm actually just gonna use oh gosh, I can't even think. Cause like my daggers aren't actually gonna do anything to it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm just gonna kinda hide in the corner and play my flute, cause
Okay, so you're taking cover. There's actually a lot of good debris in this room for you to take cover, so you're good. All right, Atarax, it's your turn.
All right. First I will guiding bolt at the beast.
All right, so go ahead and roll to attack that.
your inspiration.
19. Yeah. What's the inspiration for?
Inspiration.
It's for anything.
D6.
No. What's the? Is it D4 or?
I believe it's a D4.
D6.
It's a
D6.
D8.
Oh, 8.
A lot of different ones here.
It's a D8. It's a D8. I have it right here.
No, for Arios, it's a D6.
It's a D6 for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Well, those
you
19
know,
rolls
alright,
and then 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Fantastic. I got 46 radiant damage, or 12 points. Then the next attack on it has advantage.
Nice.
And then I will cast Spiritual Weapon as my bonus action.
Beat it up.
Can't attack this turn, but I'm gonna summon it as my bonus action for this turn at level 2.
All right. So we got all that going. All right, next up is Boss. What are you gonna do?
Ooh, I was muted for a sec. You said it's still prone, correct?
The thing is still prone. Once its turn starts, then it will be able to get back up. But right now it is still on its back.
Well, we are gonna try to prevent that right quick. You feel
Ooh.
me? I'm gonna cast Maximilian's Earthen
I
Grasp.
feel you.
Say that again.
I'm gonna cast Maximilian's Earthen Grasp.
Ooh. Tell us about that.
Well, according to D&D Beyond, you choose a 5-foot square unoccupied space on the ground that you can see within range. A medium hand made from compacted soil rises there and reaches for one creature you can see within 5 feet of it. The target must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 2d6 bludgeoning damage and is restrained for the spell's duration.
Okay.
And other effects later, my following turns.
Okay, so here's the situation.
Ooh, that sounds not good.
The golem is big. You can definitely try to restrain like a foot or a hand or something. It'll still be able to get back up, but you can try to keep it from actually moving around the room.
That'll be fun.
Okay.
Grab the head. Grab the head.
This is also with Atarax's guiding bolt. Is that his next attack or any next attack? Is this
Anyone.
also
Anyone. So this move is gonna have advantage.
lit? Oh, that works either way. Hang on, my windows are almost open. Oh, that's good. That's a 22.
22. Yeah,
Hang
that.
on, I don't want to lie. Hang on, double check. Yes. Hang on, I gotta see. What it was. Oh, modifier. Sorry. 19.
No, it still hits. You're fine.
Cool.
All right. So it needs to make a what saving throw?
Strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw. That is okay. Huh. It fails. How much damage does it receive?
2d6. Yes. That's 1d6. Where's my other d6? Jesus.
I can drink for that.
It's gonna be 4 damage. 4 bludgeoning damage.
4 bludgeoning damage. All right. Since this is a magical spell, that damage does count. All right. So, upon casting the spell, you are able to actually cause plant-like vines to burst through the exposed soil bits of the floor, and you grip it around what you think is the left foot of this creature, and the vines are just now constricting the foot part. And it's caught.
Question: Is that foot the one that has the cut on it, or has?
No, when you attacked with your spear, you attacked the right.
Yeah.
You attacked the right foot. So
Okay,
so
got it.
right now, so the left foot was undamaged up until now.
Got it.
All right, Polo, it's your turn.
Okay. Firebolt.
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 Roll to attack. Let's see if it works.
All right. D20 for this, right?
D20, yes,
Okay.
With advantage.
with advantage because it's prone.
And what's the advantage?
Roll
Roll
D
twice.
roll twice. Take the higher of the two.
Thank God. Okay. And do I add anything to that?
What does it say?
You're on your proficiency bonus.
Okay. Which is 3. Okay, so 21.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
And then I guess I rolled 2 D10s?
2d10s.
Are you serious? 2d10s?
Nice.
Because we're at level 6.
Level 6.
That's what I think it says. Do you want to check that to make sure? I'm
No,
in there?
no, you are right. 2d10s.
Okay.
Good for you.
Does
Just
that mean I
add-
get both points or just one rules points?
Roll a d10 twice, and then add those two results up, and that's how much damage it takes.
Okay, plus the +5?
Plus 5.
No. No, you wouldn't do that.
No, the plus 5 was for you to attack.
Oh. Oh, it was?
Yeah,
Firebolt-
you succeeded
yeah,
the attack.
Firebolt-
Now you're calculating damage.
Okay. Alright. That's 2. And that's 2, so 4.
4. All right. All right. Next up is Davina. What are you gonna do?
Okay, I have a crazy idea, and I want you to tell me if this would be a thing I could do.
I'm always up for crazy ideas, baby.
So, I have one question, and that will dictate if I do this. When I go into a rage, is that magical?
It is not magical.
Okay. I was gonna go into a rage and try to tear the thing apart with my bare hands, but never mind.
Yeah, unfortunately, it.
You're Path of the Berserker, not Totem Bear.
Yeah, unfortunately, rage, while definitely a good thing to have, is not going to work because only magical attacks can hurt a stone golem, and it's as you say, you have nothing magical.
So since Polo is the only one injured, I'm gonna use my movement to run over to him, and I'm gonna use healing hands.
All right, go ahead and use healing hands. So, wait, who got hurt?
I did. Well, I'm
Polo,
still.
he
I
was
still
the
got.
only one that-
Yeah, from the wyverns.
Yeah. No, you're healed. You all took a long rest at the village before you went to the rune, so you're all healed up.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm gonna. You know what? Fuck it. Why not? I would like to rage.
All right, so you are just like, "Arrgh!" and your eyes are just like glowing red.
And when I rage, because you tell me I could do this aesthetically, my eyes turn black.
Yeah, your eyes turn
So
black.
I'm gonna run over to it. Might not work. And I'm gonna attempt to just tear one of the legs off of it.
All right,
Do the
so
one that I already slashed open, not the one that I can punch.
all right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to tell you this right now. Since what you're doing is not trying to attack it, you're trying to grapple it and actually try to pull a leg off, I'm going to have you do a strength check. And I'm going to give you it.
I've never done one of them.
It just, what's your strength modifier?
Oh, my strength modifier is +3.
Okay. Now here's how this situation is going to work.
Plus 6 because barbarians have add their proficiency to their strength saves.
+9 right now.
All right. So here's how this situation is going to work. You are going to roll a strength check to see if you're able to actually pull and separate its leg from the main body. It is possible, but I will tell you this right now, because what you're doing is still technically not a magical move, the DC for this is going to be very high. So if you don't make this, it's automatically gonna fail.
Everybody blow on the dice. Okay, here we go.
Oh, by the way, it's prone, so you have advantage as well.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Oh, that's so much better. I got a, what would that be? I got a 23.
You do it. You are able to just through sheer force of will, you just take your arms, you wrap it around what you think is the ankle of this giant golem, and you are just like, your veins are bulging, your muscles are like Schwarzeneggering out right now. Like, okay, let me give you a comparison. Have any of you watched this new anime on Netflix called Dorohedoro?
I know of it.
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
There is this woman character on there who has like a complete roided out Schwarzenegger body. Like,
go full Baki.
Yeah, right now Davina's body is like Baki the Grappler right now, and she is just like a little bit of blood is coming out of her mouth because you're clenching your teeth so hard from this, and then just with a single roar, you just yank the leg right out of the main body, and you just like fling it off to the side.
And then I just go.
Davina! Athletic saving throw.
Oh fuck, already. Okay, not too bad. What's my athletics? I got a 19.
All right, you are able to just barely dodge out of the way when a whole massive spludge of the black ooze comes out of the golem's like open leg wound. And now, next up is the golem's turn. The golem, now able to actually, it doesn't seem to notice that it's missing a leg, but it does seem to just kind of right itself. Now it's just on a single leg, but it's holding itself up with its fists. And
I don't do damage.
Well, this technically wasn't an attack.
Oh right, I'm sorry. Forgot.
Carly, it's okay. All right. So the golem is now looking at all of you. You can't really tell if it's angry, but then it just starts doing this. Boom. Boom.
Oh no.
Boom.
I think it's angry, guys.
I need
Really? You think
I
so?
need everyone in the party to do wisdom saving throws.
Oh God.
Don't like that.
Am I wise? Shit.
Don't tell me your results, just let me know when you're done rolling.
Okay.
I don't. It's behind the can. I don't want to look.
Are you all good?
What?
A wisdom saving throw. Are you all good? You all rolled?
Yes.
Yeah. mhm.
Who got below 17?
Holy shit.
For those of you raising your hand, all of the sudden, you feel yourselves like the ground below you is like shaking from it, pounding its fists on the floor. And then all of a sudden, you sink a little.
Oh,
And you
no.
look down, and you realize the floor below you has been actually it's been transfigured into what looks like very soft but thick cement-like material. For those of you who rolled below 17, you are now officially slowed. When you are slowed, you can either do a movement or an action, but you cannot do both for your turn.
Question. I have a trait called Earthwalk. It says, I can move across difficult terrain made of earth or stone without expending extra movement. Does that apply here?
Let me see that. Earthwalk, 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 Earthwalk.
So I'm not sure. I don't think it does, but I want to ask.
You know what? For the sake of this, I say yes. This will definitely work in this case. So you are able to quickly, like, hop out of the soft cement-like material. Everyone else, unfortunately, not so much. Okay, so yes, slow. The golem targets all of you that it can see within a certain amount of feet, which you all are in range of. And each target must make a DC 17 wisdom saving throw, which a lot of you failed. On a failed save, you cannot use reactions. Your speed is now halved. And you cannot make more than one attack or a movement during your turn. You have to choose one. In addition to this, these effects will... Okay, so here's the good thing. These effects will only last 1 minute. So as soon as your turn ends, you automatically get yourself out of the cement, and then you're back to 100% again. But
a minute.
A minute. I thought that
a minute.
10 rounds.
That's 10 turns. That's 10 turns.
Because that's
a
how
minute
long
is 10 rounds.
lasts for.
Each entire round of combat is 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So a minute is 10 turns.
That would normally be the case. However, I would actually argue that it would still work in this section to let them be free when their turn is done. Because there's a lot of people involved in this fight. We got like...
That's valid.
So I think for the sake of this, as soon as we get through the next round, the slow effects will, they will run out. But now here's the thing. I'm not done yet, Carly. Here's the thing. The slow spell was its bonus action. Yip, it's now going to try and crush you.
Can I ask a question?
That's valid.
Yes.
Really quick. For fairness, I want my rage to only last 1 turn then, since it's supposed to last 1 minute.
Let me look at your rage for a moment. I will allow you to have your rage on your next turn, but then as soon as your next turn ends, then it's done.
Gotcha.
Okay. So now here's the thing, Yip. It's now going to try and slam you with its giant fists.
That's valid.
And because it's not prone anymore, it doesn't have disadvantage. So now it is...
Has it lost a leg?
It's using its fists, not its leg.
Oh, okay.
And a punch down.
All right, so this is going to be, let's see. Yip, what's your AC?
17.
It misses. It rolled a
Yes!
It rolled a 13, so it was able to try and bring a fist down on you, but you were able to just, like, sidestep out of the way just in time. But it's gonna use its other hand now.
Okay.
It's got 2 hands, dude.
It really do. It really do be like that.
Be like that.
This is a 24 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
It's hard.
And let's see, where is it? Okay, so...
This is gonna hurt. At least it didn't land both attacks.
I rolled a 20 on the wisdom check.
Oh, then you're fine.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, you're not cemented. All right. So Yip, you take 22 points of bludgeoning damage as that 22 as that fist just comes like just right on top of you like whack-a-mole style.
You hear the bonk sound effect.
You hear a bonk. All right, now the stone golem was actually the last one in the round because it rolled a 2 for its initiative. So we are back to the top of the round. So Yip, it is now your turn.
All right. So since I'm currently cemented, you said I can take either a movement or an action.
All right, you can either choose to move, but then you can't do any attacks, or you can attack, but then you're going to be in the same place still. And you're not going to be able to move until your next, and the slow effect won't end until you end your turn.
Got it. Okay. Now I have to actually think. I'm not used to this.
No more punchy Magoo for you.
Ugh. Okay, I
believe you should still have bardic inspiration right now too.
Yeah, I think this is the safer play. So, yep, as he's kind of just half in the cement, he kind of like does a Naruto hand jutsu, and kind of you see like a small glow come from him. I'm gonna use my wholeness of body ability and regain 18 hit points.
All right, nice.
So, and then I end my turn. So I'm kind of flavoring it as I do that, and like as I do that, I rise from the cement.
Yeah, you rise from the cement, but because now the slow effect is ended, you've lost the chance to move because your turn is now over.
I didn't want to move.
All right,
So.
next up is Eden.
I can't do anything.
I will be back. I will be back, by the way.
I'm gonna hide.
Are you slowed?
No, I rolled a 17 exactly.
All right, so you do make it out of the cement. So you are able to hide out of the way, and you're taking cover.
Yep.
Oh.
I can't do shit unless it pimp slaps me or something.
All right.
Wait, Eden, hold on. Try to antagonize it, because then you can use Hellish Rebuke.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I'm gonna chuck a rock at it. Just be like, yeah.
You're gonna chuck a rock at it.
Yes.
The thing is made of rock, so you just added to its body. It regains 2 hit points. Nah, I'm kidding.
Where are we at it?
It regrows its legs.
It is currently suffered 35 points of damage.
How much does it have left?
That I don't tell you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you want to, like,
Why?
roll a-
Why would you do that, sweet flower girl? It looked hurt. No.
Do you want me to like roll strength to chuck the rock at it?
Do you want to risk chucking a rock at it and adding to its body?
No.
What are you doing?
I have to. I need it to hit me to actually do something.
Okay.
High five.
Okay, so you certainly can try and do that.
Okay. Just straight strength.
Just a straight strength check.
Nope.
The rock goes wide.
Yeah.
It doesn't even notice it because it's just focused on Yip right now.
This dice is going in the jail.
I love that you actually have a jail.
I love that. Yeah, I know. It's so funny.
All right.
Fucking-
Next up is Mistral. What are you doing?
Dying.
Pardon me, I cough.
No, die, but she's good. I love you. But
would like to point out I'm squinting at my giant ass screen, trying to decide what to do.
I would highly recommend, whenever it's not your turn, plan ahead to what you're all going to do.
Yeah, I had a plan, but now I'm stuck in the ground.
It does happen. I
That's a
try.
metaphor for life, honestly.
You know what? If I have to be stuck, that creature can be blind. I'm gonna cast blindness on that creature.
All
Does
right.
it even have eyes?
It has to be able to see us if it's fighting us. Well,
I don't know. It's a magic rock person.
It-
Does it see us with eyes or with sound?
Are you casting blindness deafness as a second or a third level?
All it does as a third level is just allows me to cast it on more.
I am back.
But I'm
Okay,
just gonna-
oh my god.
So it needs to make a Constitution saving throw. Give me just a moment. And it fails.
Perfect.
So,
Better than that.
so you wiggle your hands in the air, and this little small fog cloud of pure black just appears around what would be its head, just encompassing the headstone. And it's just like... that was your action, but because you were slowed, you don't get your movement. But now that your turn is over, you get out of the cement. All right, next up is Arios. What are you doing?
All right, so I was not sunk in. I got a 20. I am going. There we go. I also. So you said it is blinded now, right?
It is blinded, so whenever it makes basic attack rolls, it's gonna have disadvantage.
It's got its disadvantage. Okay, good. I don't know what else I can do. I'm gonna just. I'm gonna cast levitate. I'm gonna levitate just in case that thing tries to do the knocking on the ground again, because I don't want to get stuck.
All right.
Other than that, I'm just hiding.
Okay, you
That's
are
all I
just.
can do.
All right, you are
Every
just
time
hiding.
something levitate, all I think is the Uravity song that's like levitate, levitate.
All right. Next up is Atarax. What are you doing?
And you still have bardic
Okay.
inspiration.
You still have bardic inspiration.
I use it.
Just say, I think
Yeah,
you used it.
I use it on the turn.
For 10 minutes. So
You still have inspiration, dude.
Well then, I will cast Beacon of Hope. I assume everyone's within 30 feet of me.
Yes.
Probably not me, because I ran away.
Fantastic. Tell you, so like again, all my, any healing is like the max amount of healing it can do. It does like 1d4 plus 4, that's 8 hit points. And then everyone gets advantage on wisdom saving throws.
Which is exactly the saving throw you need for the slow thing.
Yeah!
Actually,
Oh my god.
Yay, I'm back up to full.
and then I'll attack with my spiritual weapon as my bonus action. And that'll end my turn.
All right, go ahead and attack.
So,
Yeah, Josh says,
the dirty
"Get
20
him!"
already. So I got a dirty 20 to
Nah,
hit.
that hits.
Not natural. Implants.
Natural 20.
Hey, you know, sometimes to help the art museum, you gotta reinforce the pillars.
Yeah.
That did 9 hit points of damage.
9 hit points of damage. Nice. All right, and were you slowed?
I was stuck in the concrete, yes.
Okay, so you've used your action, which means you lost your movement, so your turn ends, but you are now back. You're back to normal. All right, next up is Boss. What are you gonna do?
Since it's still stuck in my earthen grasp.
That is true. It's not prone anymore, so it can't make any movements, but it can't. But it's not prone, so it's upright as best as can be.
That's all fine. I'm gonna use my action to use the hand to crush the golem. It has to make another strength saving throw.
What's the DC?
14.
Strength saving throw. That is going to be. That is a 19. It got.
That's all good. It still takes damage.
How much damage?
Half 2d6, and then plus 3.
So what is that?
How did I find one die then lose the other?
Don't you just hate it when that happens?
Not always the one.
That's 9 on the die, so 7 damage.
7 damage. Nice. All right. So this thing is definitely starting to show a lot of cracks in its frame and such. And every time a new crack appears, more of the black ooze is just seeping out of its body. You all start to get the sense that the stones making up its body might be hollow, and they're just filled with the black ooze.
I don't like that.
Next up is Polo. What are you gonna do?
I feel like I actually want to try the Great Sword of Vengeance now.
Which is a magical weapon. Go for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Wasn't that the one that I gave you?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Your first... Yeah! Fuck you.
Yeah, well, just because the rocks are cracking, I'm like, well, maybe a sword hitting it might actually do some good. So.
You can certainly try.
And I add a 3 to that, my proficiency, right?
This is just your.
Add your strength and proficiency.
Okay. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out how the math works.
Well, your proficiency is 3 and your strength is 1, so whatever you roll, add 4 to it.
Add 4, okay. Then I got 23.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no 26.
Yeah.
All right, you take your sword and you just have a mighty swing down on what you think might be its right hand, and yeah, you are able to just cause like a deep cut in the fist of this creature. Roll damage.
Okay, so 2d6s plus 1. Alright. 5.
All right. This thing is actually starting to show quite a bit of damage. All right. Next up is Davina. What are you gonna do?
Alrighty, so how close am I to this?
You are gonna have to spend a movement action to get over to it, but if you do, you're not gonna be able to attack.
Right, because I'm slowed. Okay, fine. I spend a movement action and I get close to it.
All right, awesome.
This is gonna bite me in the ass or not, but we'll see.
All right, so you move up to melee range to it, but it took a lot of effort to get out of the cement. However, thankfully, now all of you have lost your slow status, so you all are back to 100% now. But now it's the golem's turn. The golem, seeing its new targets that have just walked into melee range, is going to use its multi-attack. The first attack is going to be against Polo. That is a dirty 20 to hit.
God, it's those damn implants, man, I tell you.
Did it hit? Polo, did it hit?
Wait. I thought you rolled.
I did roll. What's your AC?
Oh. 16.
So it did hit. Okay, so that is...
I believe our highest AC is also 20, so it would have hit anyone.
So Polo takes 21 points of bludgeoning damage. And that is just from the first attack. The next fist is going up against Davina.
Figure.
And that is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Are you still raging? Are you still raging, or?
Yeah, are you still raging? Like, wait a minute.
Because raging makes you resistant.
No. You said that. No, I'm not anymore because you said that after my next turn, which I just took.
I did
I'm
say
not
that.
raging anymore.
I did say that. I'm sorry. So yeah, no resistance.
It's fine. It be like that sometimes, so.
I really do.
Davina, you take 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, that's not that bad. Okay, I was expecting it to be like, Carly, you take 50. Oh, damn. All right.
It's no 21.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's no 22, which I took.
I mean,
Well, luckily you might finally have a point of vengeance because we're now back at the top of the round. Yip, it's your turn.
Oh, yeah.
All
I
right.
choose you. Go.
I say we do.
All right. So I'm going to be popping my bardic inspiration. All right. That is an additional 3 to everything for this turn. Okay. So this time, yep, he kind of looks at his spear, kind of throws it off to the side and just puts his hands up. And I'm going to be doing my 2 basic attacks first.
All right.
That is a 22
Hits.
and an 11.
That does not hit.
Yeah. Okay, so my one unarmed strike is 6 damage.
All right, 6 damage.
Okay, so next what I'm going to do is... Okay, I'm going to... Okay, yeah. I'm going to spend a key point. I needed to make a Constitution saving throw, DC of 14, else be stunned.
What saving throw? Constitution?
Constitution.
And what's the DC?
14.
It succeeds. It rolled a 17.
Alright, I'm gonna spend another key point to do Flurry of Blows.
I'll just tell you this right now:
Alright.
the stone golem has a has a Constitution modifier of 5.
Alright. Okay, so Flurry of Blows, that is a 25 to hit.
That hits.
And a 19 to hit.
That also hits.
Alright. Oh, also... Wait. On the... Yeah, they wouldn't have mattered. Also, add 3 damage, because I forgot to... Inspiration.
All right.
Okay, on these attacks, it is a 10, 13, and 8, 11, so 24 damage.
24 more points of damage.
Yes, and
Wow.
then, because I did Flurry of Blows, I wanted to try and knock it prone again, so I needed to make another saving throw.
Of what?
Dexterity.
Okay. What's the DC again?
14.
It fails.
Yes, okay, it's knocked prone.
So yeah, the thing...
And
Your flurry of blows just throws it so off balance that it just kind of falls flat face down on the ground. Because again, realize the thing only has 1 leg, and even then, that 1 leg is restrained.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright, and that's my turn.
Next up is Eden.
Can't do shit.
Well, I'll tell you this right now, guys. This monster is not in good shape. It is currently, quote unquote, bloodied.
Hell
You
yeah.
can fucking hit it with a weapon and see if you do anything.
Can't do that. I have a spell that I components, and I don't have the components. Ah.
You can still try to do a basic attack. There are a bunch of cracks in its shell right now.
Okay, fine. I'll attack it with my longbow. Try that.
Go ahead.
$19 to hit.
That hits.
Woo. I did a thing. Let's see.
All right, that arrow, your aim was true, and that arrow has wedged itself in one of the already made cracks in its arm, making the crack bigger, and it's just bleeding more of the black ooze.
Okay. 1 point of damage. So two damage.
Okay, 2 damage.
And then I get to go again because I have 2 actions.
Do it.
$22 to hit.
That hits.
Come on, big damage.
Big mind, no whammy.
5 damage this time.
5 damage, nice. All right, is that your turn?
Yes.
Next up is Mistral.
Okay. I had 2 options, and now I'm going to make that decision of which option I will take. I am going to cast. I'm going to cast Unseen Servant.
And what is it gonna do?
Well, it's going to protect me. It can't attack anything, but it'll do what I say, other than attacking things. So I want to cast the spell so that it can hold me and
Hold you and tell you everything is gonna be okay?
No, it's going to hold me as a preventative for if he hits the ground again, that I don't get stuck. My servant gets stuck. It's invisible, so it just looks like I'm floating.
Oh, that
idea is
this is the kind of creativity that I love to see you all do. I will allow that.
9,000 IQ.
Here she is living in the year 3000.
She's playing 4D chess.
Not much has changed, but we live underwater.
All right, is that your turn?
Throwback,
well,
yeah.
Can who? You know what, Davina?
me?
Yeah, I'm gonna use as a bonus action. I'm going to give you bardic inspiration.
And how do you inspire Davina?
Yes.
That's how.
It was so inspiring.
All of the sudden, Mistral turns into a Goron, and just a big giant drum belt appears.
Yes.
Do you
the
have any
servant is-
inspiration points from it?
So you are going to roll a d8 with your ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Ooh. Look at it. You good?
Are you?
Yes, I'm all set. I am floating. And
All
I
right.
am floating, and my servant is holding my drums to hit at the same time.
All right. Next up is Arios.
Okay. So, since it's on its face,
Yeah, it is not. It is prone face down right now.
so I am going to actually use sneak attack. I'm gonna run up to it and use sneak attack,
Ooh.
and I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna use both of my daggers, and the sneak attack actually is no action for that one, so that's nice.
All right.
And let's see. All right, so let's see if we hit.
With advantage.
With advantage.
Yes. So that was a 16, natural 6. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Get your multipliers.
Yes. Okay, so I think 20.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay,
Here's
and
one.
then. All right, so then I roll 3d6.
We have a visitor.
Oh, kitty.
And that
Baby.
was 17.
Cattail! What's your butt again? That was really funny when you did that one stream.
Oh no, that was the other one.
Oh my bad, I'm sorry.
Either way.
All right, so then I got 17 on the 3d6.
17 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Yeah, you whip around and you like swoosh and swish up to the golem like wind, and then like you just kind of like launch yourself up at its back, take your daggers, and then just drag him into what you think is the neck joint. Black ooze spurts out of the wound and gets on your hands.
Oh no.
Oh, shit.
You are now enraged.
Oh no.
No!
Next up, it's Atarax.
Boy.
Durgan.
How close am I to Polo right now?
You are gonna have to spend a movement action to. Well, no, because you were able to attack the golem with your legendary weapon, right? With your. Were you?
I use my spiritual weapon.
Okay, yeah, you're at melee range. So is Polo. So yeah, you guys.
Weapon is arranged. Can be arranged.
Oh, did you use
Yeah,
it
that
as
was
a
under 20
range?
feet range.
Okay, then yeah, you are gonna have to spend a movement. You just need one movement action to get up to where Polo is.
No, instead of that, I will cast Healing Word at level 2. That's got a 60-foot range. And that will do 2. 2d4 plus 4, so you get 12 hit points back, Polo. And then I will attack with my spiritual weapon to the roll again.
All right,
Did you say
roll
20?
12.
Oh, sorry.
All right, roll to attack.
There for like 1 second. You were like, what?
13 plus 7, so a dirty 20.
That hits.
Stick, 1d8 plus 4 damage. 11 points of damage.
How many?
11.
11. All right. All right, is that it?
I'll use my movement to get a little closer, within 20 feet of the golem, if I can swing that with my movement.
Yeah, you're already at melee range. You're as close as can be to this thing.
Well, then I'm gonna back up like 10 feet if I get to do that.
This time I will allow it. All
Still
right.
prone, right?
Yeah, it's still prone. All right, next up is Boz.
All right, so first of all, I'm going to drop Maximilian's Earthen Grasp.
Okay, so the vines recede back into the ground.
How far am I away from it? I haven't been within walking distance yet.
Yeah, you just
Okay.
one movement action to get up to melee.
Cool, so I'm just gonna calmly walk up and stroll up to it. I'm gonna put my hand right on its back, and I'm gonna cast Shocking Grasp. Or, Shocking Grasp.
Oh, okay.
And it's an advantage, correct?
Yes.
Doesn't need to, 26.
Yeah, it hits.
I did the meme, guys! Am I part of your club now?
Yes, you can now order a sticker on Redbubble, and you can officially hang it up with pride.
Use the code!
Does that money go to charity?
100% of the proceeds go to charity.
Sounds great. I should shop today.
Why
what
the
if I don't
Alright,
like
that's
stickers?
only 6
We
damage.
have more than just stickers. I believe there are buttons and
Okay, guys, come on. We gotta do this fight.
Okay, I'm sorry. It was funny. I apologize.
It's only 6 damage.
Still, that's actually not bad.
That's 6 more damage than I had earlier.
All right, next up is Polo.
All right, I'm gonna go with another 5.
All right, go for it.
Wait.
What? Okay. Okay, that is 4. That is 22.
That hits.
All right. 2d10s. 8
All right.
and 7, so 15.
15 points of damage. Nice. This thing is not looking good. It's lost a lot of its body, and black ooze is just spewing everywhere.
I'm contributing to a fight, guys.
You're
So proud.
you're all doing well. All right, next up is Davina.
Alrighty, I am gonna swing at it with my great axe.
All right, roll to attack. Wow.
Right,
I'm
so
getting there.
I got 14 plus my proficiency bonus, which is plus 6, so that's a dirty 20. Plus the bardic inspiration, which was plus 7.
It
When I
hits.
rolled-
It hits. It hits.
And then I gotta roll for damage, my bad.
Yes.
1d12 plus 3. So that's 9 points of damage.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna use my second attack, and I'm gonna swing at it one more time.
Jeez.
Oh, got 14. That one.
14? Okay, hold on. Okay, let me
Wait,
just...
and this-
Okay, how do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Yes!
My first, how do you want to do this? I just want to take my great axe and just cut that shit in half, man.
Okay.
But- Just like Neville on Nagini. Like,
Yeah, just Neville on Nagini.
I want to say to it as I'm doing it. I'm really stupid.
kiss my great axe.
The rock.
Wait, what? Say that again?
Axe eats rock.
Okay, you swing your axe. An instant before the axe hits, you just see the golem just go, "Rrr?" And then its head just turns to gravel. That joke was really dumb. Its head just turns to gravel, and it's basically like the prologue scene in Lord of the Rings where you just see Sauron just like with a single whack of his mace, and he's just whacking away people. That's what Davina is doing with her axe to this golem. With every swing, she just turns another chunk of this thing into gravel, and her swings are actually swiping away any black ooze that was in those rocks away from the group and away from her.
I'm just saying, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me.
Now, Davina, I want you to make an athletics saving throw.
No, okay. Oh god, that was a terrible roll. What happened to my good one?
What did you roll?
Fuck.
Carly, what did you roll?
I got an 8.
A very psychotic Arios falls right on top of you, daggers ready.
You're gonna stab me with my flute.
I say, hey, whoa!
Okay, so considering this change of movement, since technically Arios is falling on top of you, I know this is going to be very unconventional, but this is how I see the scene playing out. Arios falls on top of you. So Arios, you would technically get an attack of opportunity because you are basically falling right on top of Davina. However, before you attack her, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Advantage.
No, she doesn't have advantage. She's enraged.
So angry.
I can't speak of poke. Is that override it?
It's a dirty 20.
All right, you were able to make it. The impact of somehow knocking your head against Davina's from falling on top of her is able to make you come back to your senses. Davina's skull is surprisingly hard.
Charlie's face like
And you are able to successfully come back to your senses.
I'm just like sitting there.
And you're just kind of sitting there, and you just see the ruined rubble of a golem all around you. And you just kind of sit up on top of Davina.
Oh my.
I'm sitting on your shoulders. It's okay, I'm really tiny.
That's what she said.
I would like to point out that you don't really notice it. You don't really notice it, but Arios has his daggers like just above like your neck.
And then I just think, maybe put those away?
Oh. Sorry.
It's fine, we've all been there. Kind of a little passage now.
Kind of, no, not really.
I saw you there.
I'm sorry. This happens to you all a lot. What?
The black
Long story.
Am I familiar with the Black Blood?
You know that you mostly see it on animals with their white eyes and them crying like the black tar. This is the first time that not just Boz, but any of you have seen it inside of a creature that was inherently magical and not organic.
Ooh. Can I just stay up here on Davina's shoulders?
Or
Can I do an investigation?
Wait, guys. Polo's saying something.
Can I do an investigation check of what's left of the creature, or is it too destroyed now?
You can certainly try if you want.
Okay. This is always when I roll like a 1 or.
wait a minute. Are you like actually above me in the chat?
8.
Oh, that's what we're doing.
There's really not that much to see. I mean, this thing is just gravel over there and gravel over there. By now, the black ooze has dried, so you don't really have to fear, like, walking on it and risking being enraged. However,
I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Sorry.
However, in your
D&D, it can take like 100 episodes.
However, in your investigation, you look back and you see that, like, a huge chunk of gravel has actually flown into the glass chamber that houses the cube. And the cube is fine, but now there's, like, a very large crack and hole inside the glass chamber.
Oh.
Other than that, the cube is
That
fine.
Can't be good. That can't be good.
Okay. I turn to Eden and I go, maybe we should see if there's any connection. Cube.
I would think that there might be something.
There's
So
religion in the Arcana check. Was there any religion?
there was no religion.
I don't know that.
Imagine no religion.
There's never any religion.
Took a turn. An odd turn.
We just take the cube.
I'm sorry?
Well, I'm asking more my team this. Should we just take the cube?
I was told to leave it here. I was just told to report back on it.
I mean, I think we
Well,
found
no,
your
no,
power
you were
sword.
told to actually bring back the cube.
Oh, I could bring it back. Okay, never mind.
You can bring it back if it was in a state that it was where it was immovable. Then you can just report it. But since you,
okay.
but you can literally like reach in that glass box and take out the cube.
I'm gonna do that then.
Okay, let's...
All right, so boss, you.
Last time we touched a
Hey,
mysterious...
if I died because of it, it's not doesn't
magical
matter. I'm not part of the
thing.
party.
All right, you.
No, that means you can't come back.
All right,
I can
you.
make 12 other characters. 12 other characters.
All right, you. You touch the cube.
And I get sucked into the nether dimension. I'm gonna be on Voromir.
And nothing happens. But
Thank God.
but all of you looking at Polo, his hair is like starting to stand on end.
Does that happen often?
No.
No, I mean, Boz, your hair is standing on end.
Oh, okay.
Oh, does that happen?
Does that happen often?
Guys, can you tell me? Does this
Surprisingly-
happen a lot?
Yes, but not because of this.
That girl liked you.
All right.
All right, so congrats on getting the power source. What are you guys gonna do now?
I'm gonna cast sending
Uh,
to whoever I'm supposed to be reporting to.
okay, so you do that.
25 words or less. Let's see. Oh no, I need to do 25 words.
I found the thing.
I just now clicked on Discord to send something, and I see the owlbear in the little red dress going, "Would you say no to this?" Oh my God, it's real.
I'm glad you saw that. You're welcome.
Yeah, Evan,
It's already my background on my phone.
do we want to take a short break?
Yeah, this is actually a perfect time for everyone to take a short break, so we're gonna take 5 minutes. During that time will be when Boz does his sending. So all of you just turn off your cameras, and we'll be back.
I slid him to her under the door one night. Yeah.
I would have to multi-class into Barb.
Oh, now I can see everybody.
She's back. She's back.
I know you guys are always talking about bad talk.
Yeah, to multi-class into Barbarian, I would have to my level 8, my level 12 ability score improvements into strength, just to level 13 multi-class into Barbarian, at this point.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you
Honestly.
right now, Barbarian's super fun, but you have like 0 magic.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I love Barbarian. It's easily my second favorite class. But I don't have the strength stat to where it'd be worth even trying to do it. But you know, I'll just go full monk. It really do be like that.
Do it, because monks are purifying, and I love it.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
monks.
I was thinking about doing sorcerer, but there's no point because, like you said, there's no. It's better to go magic than physical. pretty much.
Yeah, honestly, if we get to that level, I cannot wait for level 17.
It's a vampire cat.
Can anybody hear a humming from my mic?
No.
Oh.
Okay, good. Because I set up a fan in this because it was getting really overheated.
No, you're
So-
fine.
Okay.
But I'm excited for
Hey, Ranger.
Quivering Palm, which basically I spend 3 key points and my opponent has to make a con save. If they fail, they die. If they succeed, they take 10d10 necrotic damage.
The calico.
That's oh my god, look at the other cat. That's amazing, though.
Kitty.
You
I
went down?
love
Sydney?
him.
You went down?
Oh, hey, look at me. I'm Evan. Look at me. I'm Evan.
Evan, he just called you the fuck out.
My kitty's been watching us play this entire time.
You dare mock the DM?
He's right there.
Baby.
All right. So, are we all back?
Oh my god.
So, are we all back?
I think
Yes.
so.
His name is Theo, but I call all animals Bubba.
Oh.
Love that.
All right. So, if we are all back, let us continue.
All right.
So the golem is now dead, and your new little companion Boz has actually been able to acquire the power source that he has been tasked to find. And he said that he was gonna do a sending to try and basically telepathically send a message. Now, Boz, Andrew, check your PMs because check your Discord PMs. This is how your sending went down. No one else knows this, and this is how I'm gonna start doing secrets or exclusive knowledge from now on.
It's gonna kill me inside, isn't it? I hate that. I hate it.
So, Boz, did you get that?
Mhm.
Okay. So, what do you guys do?
Well, I
kind of
guess
wanna check
our
out the-
work here is done.
I kind of want to check out the second room.
Victor.
The living core.
So quickly
Living
after
core,
that,
yeah.
after that whole battle, you just want to waltz right in there.
I mean, I'll go by myself. I don't really.
I'm
We
gonna
are not
I'm
speaking.
gonna cast
Put them on your shoulders, anyways.
I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace.
Oh,
I was gonna say we do have to go back that way either way. So
wait, you cast Pass Without a Trace on just yourself?
The group.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, so
Guess
yeah,
we're doing this now.
the party. You're all invisible.
So, FYI,
Yeah, you get a plus 10 to all stealth checks.
because I just have a question for Mr. DM.
Yeah?
Because my unseen servant lasts for an hour, do I still have the ability to have him right now? Or
Yeah,
does it
you
just
still
appear?
have your servant out right now.
Great, I'm just floating and invisible now. Because of
It's
Bob.
all powerful.
All right, so you guys make your way out of the generator room and down that hallway again, and you find yourself back in the giant, massive room. Now, you have the opportunity to either leave or you can go down that other hallway where we all can kind of, through deduction, say it's living quarters. Yes, Carly, I was gonna finish my sentence first before I would get to you. Carly, what is it? You had your raised hand. You had your hand raised.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were still finishing. I want to go down the living quarters room, or whatever it is.
All right, so do you all go with her, or is she going by herself?
No, I go.
Arios is still on her shoulder, so I'm going with her.
Oh yeah, you're still on her shoulders.
Oh yeah, no. I look up and I say, "How about you, Arios? Do you want me to let you down, or you still vibing up there?"
I'm good. I'm good right here.
I float right behind.
Sitting on a pretty lady's shoulders. I can't complain.
All right, so you all.
Young again.
I hang back. I wait for everyone to go in front of me for a few feet.
All right. So everyone ventures down
Okay,
in.
I look up at Arios and I just say, "You're not so bad yourself."
All right, so everyone makes their way down the hallway. Boss willingly kind of slowing his pace so that he ends up at the back of the group. You make your way down the hallway and you see many, much like the previous hallway that led to the generator, this too had a lot of smaller doors just lined along the walls. Most of these ones are just left open. And even though this place is just in utter ruins, it looks thousands of years old, you see structures inside of these rooms that look like beds. Like some of them bunk beds, even. You see a bunch of scattered objects on the floors. I mean, anything that doesn't look like rubble, they look like open chests. There's really not much here. You see what might be possibly tables and chairs, but it's really hard to tell because, like, everything's so eroded. There's already, like, plant life and moss growing on everything. This place is very ancient.
I look in one of the chests.
You can. You don't even have to roll for it, but there's nothing in the chests.
Would
Okay.
would a history check do any good right now?
You can roll if you want to.
Okay. 23.
You are completely confident that you have no idea what any of this stuff is. History checks are you seeing if you remember anything that you've been taught about the world's past. And Polo, you actually did roll very high. So you're able to recall a lot of past history about the world and civilization and such. Nothing talked about this kind of underground chamber.
Yeah, I've got nothing. Seems like I wasted a natural 20 roll, but, you know, whatever.
No, you see, that is also still in of itself a success, because now you know that whatever this place is, it's not in the history books.
Oh.
So, Boss, you look like you have something to say.
You know anything about this place?
No, I was. As far as I'm concerned, I came here for the energy source. The rest isn't really my business, is it?
Okay.
I came here to have fun, and honestly,
I'm feeling really attacked right now, guys.
No, he wasn't
Anyway,
attacked. I was attacked.
And I was too. I got crushed. So.
well, I suppose there's nothing left for us
You're
to
still
do.
on mute, Arios.
So are we
You're like
actually aware that Boss did the sending to send his message?
He did say that he is using sending, but he did not say explicitly what the message was and who he was talking to.
I inside check him.
I was about to.
How are you going to inside check him? He never said anything about his sending or who he was sending it to. Unless, Boss, are you willing to tell them about it?
I know if he knows more than what he's saying, because that was a shady sentence he just said to me.
I was
When
gonna
he
say,
was
like, right after grabbing.
No, hold the fuck up. How dare you say I'm being shady when y'all asses are gonna be sneaking in the corner? Shut the fuck up, please. That's Boss's inner monologue sometimes. I mean,
After what he said, I'm suspicious. I'm sorry. It's nothing against you, Andrew. It's nothing personal. It's my character.
Okay, so I would actually like to do a persuasion check and ask Boz who he was sending a message to, because it's a little off to me that he sent a message right after grabbing the energy source.
You can certainly try to do a persuasion check, but what will you actually say to him? Part of persuasion is you need to actually persuade them.
Yeah, so my question is, who did you send a message to? Who did you telepathically send that message to?
Okay,
I'm gonna.
are you willing to answer them?
I'm willing to answer. I want to do something right quick. I'm gonna look, because Arias was one specifically asking me. I look to them right in the eye and respond in Primordial. That I was here sent to get the energy source, and I need to report back to Volfric immediately. That's why I was sending to who gave me the order, and Volfric was the one to respond.
Haha. So unless somebody else knows Primordial other than me in the group, I'm the only one that actually knows what he just said, right?
Yeah. Damn, it really be like that. It really be.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you.
Yeah, basically, as far as everyone else knows, it sounded like they were speaking in parcel tongue.
I have a question. Did I catch the name? I'm sorry. Arthuric?
Do you speak Primordial?
I thought that the name would be the same.
No. Do you speak Primordial? Then no, you don't.
Okay. It was worth a shot.
I have a question.
Primordial gang.
What the fuck?
No, it's all good, guys. Don't worry about it.
It's kind of like how no one knows what Polo and I are saying, or like it's one of those. It's kind of a different language for every.
Yeah.
So.
No, I thought because he said his name that I would have been able to catch that. So never mind.
Translations
are weird.
Worth a shot.
Primordial is the all that you know is Primordial is the language of the elements themselves. So it's not even something. So
Have we tried it on the orb?
Oh, all right.
Oh shit.
Sorry, let me say that in character. Have we never thought to Primal?
You cut out.
Cut out.
Hey,
Yo, with the orb Rosetta Stone? Hell yeah.
Have we never thought to try to ask the orb anything?
In Primordial.
That's a good idea.
No, so far all you guys have done was just Celestial and a little bit of Infernal recently, but not Primordial yet. But again, you would only get the chance to do that during your next long rest, because remember, you guys are all still here in these ruins. Do you want to?
That's fine. It was just an idea. We can put that one in the pin for me.
That's a good idea, though.
Pin in it.
Okay, so do you guys want to stick around, or do you want to head back out?
Let's head
I think
back
we
out.
can head back
Yeah,
out.
let's head
If
back
we
out.
literally can't learn. So.
Cool.
So basically, yeah, we'll head out.
Okay, so you guys head out of the ruins. For the sake of time, we'll say that you exited the ruins without any problems, it is now just nighttime. Like, it's 9 p.m. right now. And also for the sake of time, you guys are gonna take that same that same propeller sled vehicle back over to the Hatterack outpost. Boss is taking his own sled because he came here solo before you guys arrived. As you guys return to the outpost, I need you all to make Constitution saves. No, wait, no, you don't, because you got your masks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I completely forgot. So you guys make it back to the outpost, and that one lizard folk barbarian who you can only guess is the leader of this outpost. He meets you at the parking spot where you basically leave your sled vehicle, and he just kind of looks at you all, and then he looks over at Boz, and he just kind of walks over, slams a hand on your shoulder, and goes like, "We all thought the worst for you."
I just kind of nod and go, I'm much better than that,
though. You can kind of tell, like...
You don't give me...
Charming motherfucker, isn't he?
You can kind of tell behind his mask that the lizard folk guy is smiling in his own reptilian way.
I put my hand on his shoulder, but I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, he kind of shakes you a bit. We're glad to have you back, but we gotta get you back to Acheron. And he looks at the rest of the party. I take it all of you were successful as well.
You could call it that. We didn't die.
That is certainly a success. All right, let's get you back home. And then he walks you all through the outpost, and like always, your ever faithful pilot, Old Joe, is still on the landing pad. He's reading what you think might be a dirty magazine, like always, waiting for you, just kind of leaning up against the hull of the ship. Yeah, he's a mix of Master Roshi, Sid, and
From Ice Age?
Jiraiya. Please say Jiraiya.
No. He's a mix of Master Roshi, Sid, and Popeye.
From Ice Age.
Hell yeah.
Wait, Sid from Ice Age?
Hell
yeah. He walks you all out, and he doesn't even hide the magazine. He just kind of folds it up, puts it in his back pocket, and goes like, "Ah, you guys finally made it back."
Can we just take Boz with us since we're headed back to Acheron anyway?
Boz, do you want to go with them? It's up to you.
I look at them if you'll have me.
Of course we will.
Well, of course.
I need someone else to talk to.
Can I pat Boss on the head?
Yeah, go ahead.
He allows it.
Yeah.
Oh, and in speaking of pats, I would just like to point out, Axel the Fox is fine. He found hiding during.
God, yeah.
He found a nice shady hiding spot during the fight, and he's been at your side the entire time since his bag is broken.
Yeah.
Um.
Steven, are you just carrying the bag like this?
I'm
Yeah.
holding it like that.
Like an actual bag.
Yeah. So I'm gonna spend like the time going back from the thing.
Okay, so you all get back on the airship, and Old Joe doesn't waste time to like start up the engines, and you all are back up in the air finally. Again, it's just now become nighttime. If there's any little bit of light left, it's now finally vanished, and the stars are now starting to poke out as you make your way through the mountain range again, heading south, back to Acheron. The trip itself does take about 45 minutes like last time, because again, you're just crossing the mountain range. You're not crossing over entire landscapes and such.
No wyverns this time, though.
No wyverns this time, no, thank God. Yeah, we had a...
Sorry, can we try to talk to the orb in Primordial?
You can certainly try. Talking to it, you can just do right now, but if you actually want to teach it anything, that can only be done during a long rest.
I want to see if it will respond to it.
Go right ahead.
Yeah,
But the thing is, do you know Primordial?
No,
That's the
but
problem.
I remember Polo said that, and then I just I guess since it was Polo's idea, do you want to ask Arios if he can talk? I'm sorry, if he can talk to
I
it.
think that's an excellent.
Well, ask him.
Is he here? Do we have to go?
You're
find
all
him?
here. You're all on the
Okay.
boat.
Arios, would you be willing to
You
help
can't just say you're going to ask someone and then not ask the someone. If you say you're going to do something, I expect you to actually do it.
Okay, fine. Then I go up to Polo and I say, "Hey, about your idea before. That was really smart. You wanna, since it was your idea though, do you wanna ask Arios if he can maybe try and speak to the orb and see if the orb even responds to it?"
We can try. I'm not expecting much, but we can at least try. Arios, do you think you could help us? As you're the only one who knows how to speak primordial of our entire troop, do you think you could try to see if the orb responds to you speaking in that language?
It's worth a shot. So Arios just kind of walks over to Eden with the bag and holds out his hands. May
Eden.
Eden?
Is boss close by?
The deck of the ship doesn't have a lot of spaces where you can try to do this subtly. So,
Okay.
boss?
I as Yip. I'm going to kind of bring him off to the side, like away from the. Hold a conversation.
Okay, nice.
Shouldn't that be like a persuasion check?
Do a repeat of the cleric. Of what I did to the.
Can I join
pastor.
this conversation?
It's
Join this conversation.
It's up to you if you want. Here's what we're gonna do. So, Yip, because Davina is helping you out, I'll make you do a persuasion check with advantage. However, at the same time, boss, I want you to make a perception check. Whoever rolls higher wins. So if Yip rolls higher, you are engrossed in conversation with this bird monk. But if your perception is higher, you notice that they're doing something with the bag over there.
And me, I'm also in the conversation.
Yeah, but it was
Look at my
originally
brain.
Yip's idea,
Look at
so
my
you're giving
brain.
him advantage.
Okay.
All right, persuasion, got it.
Come on. Roll high, please.
Remember, you get advantage.
Remember, advantage.
All right,
Did you get?
13.
What was it?
13.
Roll a 16.
Did you?
Okay, so boss, despite the engrossing topics that this monk is trying to talk about you with, you notice out of the corner of your eye, which looks like Arios, like holding the hole open of a bag that Eden is holding, and she's talking into the bag.
Oh, while they're talking to me, and as I get transfixed, I'm gonna cast Misty Step to get right next to that.
Oh,
Bastard.
oh,
wait, mic drop.
all right, Yip, Davina, as you are trying to talk about him, or talk with him about whatever you want, you're,
Do you like ice cream? Like.
and then all of a sudden, boss just vanishes in a puff of mist, and that mist just instantly like wisps over to Arios and Eden, and boss just appears like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?"
Damn it. And I'm just like, oh, hey. I was just seeing if we have any food. I'm kind of hungry. Yeah.
Arios, roll a deception check.
Roll high.
Oh, that actually might be really high.
Well, I was gonna say my deception is +9, and I got 19, so that would be a 28.
28.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's totally looking for food, man. You That's when you realize you all
I'm
haven't.
hungry. That's when you like hear my tummy rumble. It's like, oh, yep.
That's when every one of you realize like none of you have eaten since this morning.
Take out my food ration. How the fuck?
Does
now?
anybody want a weed cookie?
Does anyone want weed cookies?
Me being an asshole to my significant other, Jordan.
If I do not see it, it is not happening. If I do not see it, it is not happening.
Hey, you know what? Atarax, you haven't been really initiated into the group until you've had a weed cookie.
This is just not the time, or we're so busy.
It's either you have a cookie or I shove weed down your throat. I mean,
So what do you do, Atarax?
Peer pressure. It's on.
Peer pressure.
This goes wrong. I need you all to pray
Not
for me.
Oreos has had a weed cookie yet either.
Who hasn't had one?
You sure you want to get Ario's hot?
I'm trying to do, actually.
I'll give him a small portion. He'll be fine by the time we get there.
Okay, so Atarax, Arios, do you have your weed cookies?
I'll take some weed cookie. I'll try it.
And
split it
Atarax?
in half. I split one cookie in half and had him to each of them.
Okay. Do you eat them?
Yeah.
Do you want a weed cookie too?
Oh, right. I want both of you to make Constitution saving throws.
I was just being an asshole to my significant other. That's
Boss
what
want a weed cookie?
What?
Boz, would you like a weed cookie?
I've never had one, but I'm willing to try.
Here you go. You look like you can do a whole one by yourself.
Oh, right. So here's the thing. Since Atarax and Arios shared one half of a single weed cookie, they both need to make a Constitution saving throw. The DC is 10. Boz, on the other hand, because he had a whole cookie, his DC is 15.
I thought you were about to say 20, and I was like,
No. Arios, you rolled it too? Arios, being... No, hold on. Let me do this. Arios, being what you are, when that weed hit, your entire body, in view of everyone, actually becomes a little translucent. And it almost looks like you can see wind underneath that skin. And your hair becomes even more white with a tint of green. And it's just kind of like flowing in the breeze a bit. And you're just kind of hovering.
I know what race you are.
And you're just kind of like
Even
hovering.
myself,
And you're
know
just...
what it is.
Will you let me talk?
Got really excited. I apologize.
Carly, mute yourself or I'll shove a weed cookie down your throat.
We'll put 2 weed cookies down your throat, then you'll see a DC of 20. So yeah, right now, Arios, you are just like... You're just like frozen, and people can now see that your body itself, it looks like it's made of wind. And now, Atarax, what did you roll?
Roll a 22. I'm chill.
Yeah, you're fine. You're like,
Nice.
I don't think it's hit yet.
Oz, and you have fingers.
Hey, man, did you all notice that we're all, like, wearing gloves or something?
Dude.
They were part of that entire movie.
And then he was never seen again. Because he became self-aware. Boz, what did you roll?
Yeah.
Look, dirty 20.
Yeah, you're fine.
See? I
You-
knew he could handle himself. That's why you got a whole cookie.
Yes, Eden.
Fixed.
Boz is just chilling.
Say that again?
Is the backpack fixed?
Well, like I said, you can't fix the backpack until your long rest.
Okay, so never mind.
Okay.
Bless you.
Arios.
So Arios is still just like right now.
And then here's another question: would I roll to like comprehend what Arios is, or would it just be a blatant?
Do a perception check.
Okay. The perception is a +2.
Wait a minute, Evan. Based on my background,
Oh.
I have ever seen what Arios is before.
No.
Yep. I rolled
Okay.
a 1, so never mind.
You rolled a run. You have no. She's a ghost. She's a weed ghost.
Can I try something to break Arios out of his trance?
You can certainly try. Go ahead.
I'm gonna unwrap one of my arm bandages, revealing like cracks on gray skin with like a faint glow to them, and I'm just gonna start waving in front of him like a glow stick to a high person.
All right, Arios, I want you to roll a perception check with disadvantage. Yeah, what Carly's doing, you're like doing this thing like they do at raves.
Nice.
I'm so good at that. Like, I wish I had those gloves, because I'm always, like, so good at that.
If ASUN was happened, you know you can get them.
So Arios, what did you roll?
I rolled a 13.
All right, so we'll go with the original DC when you first had the cookie, which is 10. So Arios, your eyes are just like tracking the movement of the arms right in front of your face, and yeah, that's the face right there. And somehow this movement, this constant like snake charmer movement with the arm, just kind of makes you come back to reality. And the moment you come back, your entire body becomes a lot more solid looking, and your hair stops flowing in the breeze, and it just kind of falls back to your shoulders.
I look at Arios.
As soon as that happens,
and I
I'm
say-
gonna start wrapping up my arm again.
I look at Arios and I say, I'm sorry, I have to ask. If you don't want to answer, it's fine. What are you?
I've never met anyone
I am
like
shit.
you.
That's what I am.
Didn't hear what she said!
I have never met anyone else like me.
Or have you?
I mean,
I don't know if I've met anyone else like me.
I mean, I like to keep my what I am secret, so I totally get that. But are you saying you don't know what you are?
No, I really don't know what I am. I've never met anything like me.
Damn, it really be like that sometimes.
Are you a ghost?
I'm a weed ghost.
I'm gonna say in primordial to them. Maybe you're closer to someone like you than you think.
So,
Ooh.
boss,
Oh no!
what is that glowing you have under your arm, then?
Yeah, did we see that? Oh, did all of us see that?
Yeah, you all saw that. His arm itself looked like it wasn't made of skin, but cracked brown stone. And in those cracks, as he said, was like a faint orange glow.
Would you
Who are
like to
you?
explain your body to us?
Explain your body.
FYI,
It's your
Mistral
body.
Mistral is definitely high right now asking these questions.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
And I'm just. In the
I
background.
just look at Mr. and just go, I'm just different.
And I'm just in the background going, are we going to ask the orb if I'm...
Oh my god.
I have to ask. Can you
Hey, did someone mention an orb?
Yeah, Polo, you yelled that out loud.
I don't know what you're talking about. Look at me. Look at me. Look at my eyes. Boss, look at my eyes. Look at me. Look at me. Okay?
I am the captain now.
And okay, so wait. When Mistral is doing this, I look at Arias and I just say, you
Did you just say I look at 3 times in a row? Like, I'm sorry, but my brain is just attached to that.
Maybe.
So, boss, look at my eyes. Look at my eyes, okay? You look at me? You're not looking at me. Look at me. Okay, you're looking at me? Are you? Okay, cool. Why are you glowing?
Can I do a sleight of hand to like pass the orb to Arios while that's going on?
I mean, regardless of what you've heard passing it, I heard someone mention an orb now.
Yes, I'm distracting you by speaking. I said, look at my eyes.
Okay, so
When
Eden.
someone high walks up to you, how often do you listen to them, really?
Okay, so Eden,
You're
do a
just like,
sleight
okay,
of hand check. See if you can stealthily pass the orb over.
And
Wait, I thought he was already talking to it.
A dirty 20. Oh, right. You are able to just like it's like that scene in Now You See Me, specifically the second one, where they're like moving the playing card around each other. You're somehow able to stand right next to Arios, and behind both of your backs, you quickly just pass the orb, and then you just walk away from each other.
I would call it, now you don't! It would be called Now You Don't!
I follow Arios.
I'm close by so that I can get the orb back, but yes, I walk away.
Yep, what was that?
I'm gonna cast sending, and I'm gonna message you.
Hang on. We're all talking over each other. I said I'm going to walk away, but be close enough to where if Arios wants to pass that off again, I'll be there.
I'll be there for you.
No, Boy Meets World.
Okay, so Boz.
That's friends.
So Boz, are you gonna time out, everyone? Let's get back on point. Boz, are you gonna answer Mistral?
Why are you glowing?
Hang on, sorry. Oops.
Just do it again. Just wave it in front of her and see if her high brain will start doing it again.
I've just always done it. I don't really question it anymore, so there's no why. Just that's how I am.
But why do you hide it? It's pretty. Why do you hide pretty things?
I love that.
You get used to doing stuff like that.
I get used to how pretty I am.
No, you get. I mean, you get used to having to hide it. Some people don't appreciate people who look different.
Well, do we all
People
look
don't
the same? Do we all appreciate each other?
I
Well,
mean, two
show
of us
off
kinda
your
do.
glowy arms.
Show off your glowy
I don't know. I
arms.
do. I mean, let me ask you, Mistral. Do you appreciate me? I've been. I understand I'm new here, and that like, there's no guarantee that I'll work with you in the future, but there's been an awful lot of secrets. So if your group's gonna keep yours, I have the right to keep mine.
I get what you're saying, and I understand. But from what my mother has taught me is to always embrace yourself. And since you are surrounded by which, I mean, you can believe me or not, by people who seem to be very accepting of each other, despite keeping secrets at some points, and then revealing those secrets later, you can trust us with whatever you feel like you need to keep hidden from the world.
That's a question.
Yes, madame?
I was gonna be like for the DM, can I walk over to Polo and Infernal, because obviously no one else knows this, ask him, do you think we can trust him? Just like we could trust the leader of the Grey Blades.
Yes. You can certainly do that if you wish.
I would like to do that. So that is what I ask you, Polo.
I
just
can do
to...
another insight check.
This has not been going well for you, so.
Yeah, they have...
I can look at him hard enough and get a feeling.
I mean, that's what it's for.
He's...
I know, but you've been done it twice. At least for me.
Maybe if I
Over
use
to-
my eyes a little
over
more.
to Ethan.
I
I'm
don't.
sorry.
I don't know if we can trust him, but I don't think he's dangerous. I'll say that.
I walk over to Mistral and Boz, and because I like overheard their conversation, I say I always hide what I am because I don't want people to treat me different. So I completely understand, and if that's your choice, that's your choice.
Just look at her. I look at Davina and go, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And this whole time, I'm sitting over by what might be some crates, and I'm whispering in Primordial to the orb, "Hello, little friend. Can you understand me?"
There we go, finally.
Like took 12 years. No.
Finally, someone cares about the plot here.
This is the longest 45 minutes of my life.
I'm trying.
God, it's like Frieza and Goku fighting here.
No, our dialogue is way more interesting.
Yeah,
All right.
We were talking about self-acceptance and sharing feelings with friends.
All right. So you talk in Primordial to the orb. There's silence for a moment. As always, the orb is pondering an answer. The orb just seems to parrot your words back to you, but not in a way that seems to imply that it can comprehend the words. For all you know, it's just kind of mimicking your sounds.
Well, why would it do that?
Do an insight check.
Me?
Yes, you, because you're the one who suggested that.
Yeah, but would he have to since he's close to the orb or no?
I mean, granted, I don't understand what Arios or the orb just said, but I guess I would.
Oh yeah, never mind then.
That's why I was asking of like.
At the same time, however, I would tell that it did parrot Arios.
Yeah, you can kind of hear Arios say what is gibberish to you, but then you can kind of hear the orb just in all of your heads except Boz's. Like the orb is trying to mimic the sounds that Arios is saying, but it's kind of obvious that it can't comprehend what he's saying. He's just parroting noises.
But Polo still would be like, that's strange. It's never done that before.
So yeah, for that you can definitely do an insight check. And we'll just say like you walk up to the orb.
Yeah. Yeah. 14.
That actually works. You get the very faint sense that the orb is expressing a desire to learn. Like it actually does want to try and learn more, like how you guys make noises with your mouths, because it itself wants to be able to communicate better. It just doesn't know how to because it's a baby.
All right, Barthek Rose, inebriated. I think we have a job for you.
We're all technically teaching the orb different languages.
We're all
too, so.
teaching it different languages.
Yeah.
Yes, but
It
this
is
is the
learning a
first
little.
one that it seems to want to learn by instinct.
Well, you have yet to try it with the other languages now. Like, a lot of time has passed and you've all tried to... Well, in the past, you have tried Celestial and Infernal and such. Time has definitely passed. You can try using those other languages again. Maybe it might react differently.
Anyway.
Alright.
We have
But,
given it other languages.
We don't need to do
But
that.
that being said, though, the airship finally makes its round around the big mountain, and you see the lights of Acheron dead ahead. So for the sake of time, we will say that you guys land at your classic landing pad, like where you always land. Are you guys gonna stick around and do some other things, or are you just gonna head straight to Greyblade HQ?
So I'm gonna
I think we
sleight
should
of
just go
hand.
straight.
So I think I should sleight of hand it, the orb back into the bag.
Okay, do a sleight of hand check.
All right, and that one is +9 for me. I love that.
Pretty rogues.
So 16, 27, or 25, sorry.
Yeah, you pull another now you see me moment where you just kind of, it's like one of those things where you and Eden are just nonchalantly walking past each other, but the moment you are right next to each other, you just quickly give her the orb.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, it is the smoothest of football passes that you have just done.
Well, and then I have to stop and be like, get in the bag to Axel. I don't want anyone else seeing him.
Yeah, Axel does hop in the bag with the orb as well. And it's just,
No.
and now it looks like the Firefox logo.
Aww.
Hey, Izzy, I think we have your next project.
A little red fox cuddling a green orb.
Oh,
And we can use that. And we can take that sticker and use it to download
Download what?
Chrome.
Chrome.
Oh. So, are you guys gonna do anything else while you're here, or are you just gonna go straight to headquarters?
Can I ask Boss one more question?
Go right ahead.
So I catch up. So I'm assuming you're walking a little bit more faster than I am. So I catch up, and I ask, I'm curious. You are supposed to report back about this energy source that you've discovered. Is there anything that you'd kindly want to share with us from what you have observed or have been informed about?
Do you?
I'm thinking, because I'm trying to think of everything Boss does or doesn't know.
Just insert that gif from Happy Gilmore of that one guy going, well, we're waiting.
Get on with it!
the whole night army, get on with it!
I can tell you this, once I report back to Volthric, you can come with me and you can ask him all the questions about this that you'd like. This is all I know, so.
Okay.
I think Arios would then walk up, because again, Arios has never heard anyone else speaking Primordial. It's not a common thing to hear. So Arios kind of walks up to Boss and just asks in Primordial, where do you come from?
I respond in Primordial. I come from a smaller village in the land. Raised by my mother, my stepfather, and my half siblings. Rather, raised by my my mother and stepfather with my half siblings.
And then in Primordial, I say, are you a Ganassi?
Legas.
And I kind of respond. I have a oh yeah, my mask is gone now, but like I have a small grin on my face that yes, I suppose I am. And I cool, and I ask them, are you?
Him.
Where's Ganassi Nord?
I thought I did say him.
Whatever pronouns work for Arios, because again, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Them, him, either way. I believe so. But I've never met. I was abandoned.
I kind of chuckle and I can respond. Being a Genasi, we're always kind of abandoned.
Ouch.
We have daddy issues.
And mommy issues.
But I look at them and kind of but you kind of make the closest people around you family.
Love that. I love that so much.
Aww.
like breaking character, that is true. Your family does not always have to be your family, because sometimes your family's an asshole.
Facts.
You guys.
Oh yeah, you know mine so well.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
All right. So, any more little interactions, or back to HQ?
I think back to
To HQ.
All right. You, for the sake of time, you're there.
Oh, wow.
Yay. No, no shady looks from the.
I just realized this is the
from
first.
church.
Like, this is my first time meeting Volthric, right?
No,
I've only heard of him.
you've met Volthric before.
Oh, I've met him before. I thought this is the first time. I was like, ooh.
No, he was the one who gave you your mission.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it was someone that wasn't Volthric. Okay. My bad.
Okay, but none of you see Volthric. He seems to be like doing other business somewhere else in the headquarters. But the main lobby area of the HQ is its normal activity. There's hunter warriors everywhere. You see that same pink-haired halfling girl behind the desk who's just kind of greeting everyone. She kind of greets you. She just kind of gives a little flirty wave at Polo as you all walk by.
All right, Polo.
Yip kind of gives.
I love Polo.
Yeah, so does Yip. We sandwich him in elbow nudges.
Oh, talk to her.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. You can do it.
So what should I do? Should I do a charisma check? Is that what I...
Well, first you need to actually what are you gonna do?
All right. I guess I go up to her.
Unfortunately, there's a line.
Oh.
These are all people that are either like registering quests or signing in quests that they just completed.
Bureaucracy.
Yes.
I help him by intimidating the line to get him in.
How do you intimidate?
Activate.
We have a red quest.
What?
We have an S class.
Yeah, that's what it is. An important quest.
Roll a persuasion check because you're just stating a fact. You're not trying to scare them into intimidation.
Okay, I think
No.
you. Okay, fine. I'll do a persuasion.
Great.
My highest, so. Oh shit! I got a 17.
You were able to get rid of some people who were wanting to respectfully get out of your way, but the line is not completely obliterated.
Can I
God.
can I play my drum and say, hey, come over here and dance. Dance to my music. Come here. Come over here.
Okay,
I
so
know you
what
want
you're
to.
basically gonna do is...
Good lord. This is a mess.
Okay, so what you're gonna try and do is charm person, but that can only work on a single target. There's like 5 people left in line.
Did I ever give you guys this?
No. Wait,
I
hold
could
on.
cast sleep. I could cast sleep on that.
No.
What if both Arios and Mistral do that? Because they're both bards.
Wait, no, I have charm person, but with every level higher, I get another slot. So
Oh, well, in that case, you can certainly try.
I can
I
do
love that.
all
I
5
love
of
that
them.
sentence.
Okay.
Wait. We can do it.
While you guys are doing this, I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna do this in character Polo.
Okay, so these 5 people are gonna have to make wisdom saving throws.
Wait, Polo, are you still dirty from combat?
Ooh. She might actually like that.
Okay.
The first one failed. So he leaves the line and starts dancing.
Come here, boy. Come on, let's dance.
The second person fails.
Yes.
Dumbest shit.
The third person fails.
Keep going. Keep going.
Keep her on.
The fourth one succeeds.
Oh,
Okay, time to kill him. Time to kill him. Gotta kill
Wait, there's still one more guy.
so one more.
The fifth one fails.
Hell yeah.
You now just have one person between you and this girl.
Let's kill him. We gotta kill him, guys.
Ariel,
We got-
do some.
We're
do
just
something.
slowly breaking down the Grey Blades. Like, we're destroying this ancient organization of.
By the way, none of you noticed this. This doesn't matter at all. But Volthric is like on the other side of the room, just kind of watching you guys like, what the hell are they doing?
It's just reading.
Can I?
It's
Tapping
reading a
record.
newspaper, just watching like, what the hell is going on?
Having his morning
Do I
coffee.
see Volthric?
Well, it's like 10 p.m. right now.
Having his
Can I
morning
can I tell the four of them? Be like, can I use my charm person to like tell them to like go dance around the streets for a little bit?
Yeah, you do it, and they all just start like. Okay, so they all start doing a dance number, which is basically the Cuban Pete song from The Mask as they dance into the street out of the headquarters.
That's amazing.
Can I do something
Oh
real
my
quick?
god.
Oh my god.
Great. I'm glad I used my spell slots for that.
Wait, Eden,
There-
I would actually like to do minor illusion on the last person that's in the line to just make them hear like somebody's whispering their name, calling to them.
I'm gonna
Oh,
do something for that one.
go ahead and try it.
I just want to say, genuinely, this is not a humble brag. This would genuinely be if I was, but the fact that I have to figure out how to do this as Polo is making this so much harder for me.
so excited. Living for it. Wait, Eden, what were you gonna say?
Oh, well, Arios is already doing something. I was gonna be like, can I just go over to that one person and be like, I'm sorry to bother you, but my friend really just wants to, like, interact with this girl."
Oh, the honesty route.
Yeah.
Be honest. No, we don't do that. We just.
And then
That's not those.
Then go. Since Arios is doing something, I'm just gonna go walk over to Volthric and be like, I don't know. Don't ask me.
Yeah,
So
Volthric. Yeah, Volthric is sitting at like a table, like having his own meal with like today's paper, and he's kind of going like, I see you've returned, but what's going on over there?
Why are all my men dancing in the street?
Why are four of my men dancing outside of headquarters right now?
Honestly, sir.
Okay, I walk up to him immediately and I go, "Hi, Mr. Volthric. So we did everything you wanted. To be completely honest with you, and I'm not gonna lie to you, sir, because
Trying to get
you
people-
scare me. Polo really wants to talk to that pink-haired halfling.
Does he ship it? Does he ship it?
Bolo just Volthric just kind of twerks an eyebrow for a moment, and then he just kind of looks over.
Oh yeah, I ship it.
I imagine Volthric saying something like, "Her shift is off in like an hour." He waited. I mean,
No, actually, I had something else in mind to ruin this for you all.
oh,
Oh
I
no.
hear it.
Oh no.
God, here we go.
Is that his wife?
No.
Okay.
He would break her. He's like,
He can be the little spoon. He can be the little spoon.
that's like saying Reinhard gets with Diva. Jeez.
Balthric can be the little spoon.
Diva can handle that.
Evan, that doesn't. Some
You
people
can handle.
So anyway,
You can just go on all of it.
so why? How did we get here? How? Anywho, Volthric just kind of twerks an eyebrow, and he just kind of looks over at the registration desk, and he sees what looks like someone trying to whisper it in a guy's ear, while the other one has his arm around him, like explaining what is actually going on, and a very flustered-looking Polo behind those three, and the pink-haired halfling who has her back turned, filing papers, not knowing anything of what is going on right now. And he just kind of looks at you and goes like, Is there something up with Anne Marie?
No. The last time we
Wait.
talked to her, Paula made a
Yeah,
very-
none of you ever bothered to ask the girl's name, by the way.
To be fair, she.
Are you guys
immediately
kidding me?
Wait, what? Say that again?
To be fair, we immediately left after we got the mission.
That is true. But it takes a second to ask someone's name.
Vina just says to Volfric, "Oh no, there's nothing wrong. Here's the thing.
Yip walks over. He wants to bone.
Can Polo at least notice that this is the wrong girl?
No, this is the same girl.
Oh, okay. All right.
No,
I thought
he wants
that's
to
what
get
you were
with her.
implying. I thought that's what you were implying. When you
He
said
wants
this,
to get with her, sir.
Yeah, he really likes her, and we thought it'd be cute. Polo's never had a girl.
I just wanted
Never
to
had a
talk
date.
to her. I didn't.
Volthric just kind of glances back over at Anne Marie behind the desk and then back at you, and you can see behind his giant Reinhardt Santa Claus mustache beard, which is very luxurious, by the way. And he just kind of smiles a bit, and he goes like, "Well, I won't get in your way. I see that there's someone there that I actually need to talk to myself." And Volthric walks up to Boss. And he just goes like, "Boss, you have something to report?"
Yes, I have the energy source that you were looking for. Go ahead.
No, you first.
I also have a couple questions.
All right, very well. And he takes you over to the table. However, I want to put the camera back to the registration desk here. So how?
Shenanigans.
So dudes, how are you gonna get this last guy out of here?
Kill him.
No.
That's a bad idea.
I am just to be on record. I am automatically gonna punish any murder hobo behavior.
Oh, absolutely. We don't like murder.
Can I do like a performance check? So like I've told like the guys to leave, and I come back and I do like this almost like trip fall into the person's arms and be like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Do you mind? My foot hurts. Do you mind bringing me over to the table over there?"
Fly boots.
Okay. Oh man. All right. Roll me a.
Let's point out, just like 10 minutes ago, we were fighting a golem.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Since Arios is doing the whole ear whisper thing with minor illusion, Mistral, I want you to roll a deception check with advantage because he is slightly distracted by the voice in his ear right now. I'm having the time of my life with this episode.
Do someone in reality. Just talk someone.
I got a 22.
All right, you stage pratfall right into this guy's, like, he's just like, he has his arms out like this already, like, what is going on? Where's that voice coming from? And you land perfectly in his arms. Your hand is on your head like this. And he is instantly, like, utterly convinced that you have, like, completely sprained and or twisted your ankle. And he goes like, "Oh my dear, I'm so sorry." And he exits the line and takes you to and he sits you down in a chair and he's like, can we get like a medical pack over here? And so
And
now
it's like, ooh.
And I just look at everyone and like, I'm the ex-con here, and I'm the most honest person in this situation right now.
And then Davina looks at Polo and just does one of these.
By the way, I just want to ask, because you're the only one who didn't do anything. Atarax, are you just enjoying the show right now?
I am leaning back, like, against the wall, and I'm like, these mammals are just so
This is delightful.
Hey, I am not.
So much.
I will have you know.
He came from
Don't you
dinosaurs, damn it.
Sister was a witch.
Her sister was a witch.
What's a witch?
All right.
Look at me and tell me that I'm wrong.
All right, Polo. You walk up to the desk. Anne Marie, which by the way, you don't know her name. Only the people who were talking to Volthric know her name.
It's just me. It's
is there-
just me.
Is there
Does
not?
anybody have message?
Is there not like a little plaque or something to say her name?
No,
No, no.
Okay.
this isn't like the DMV.
Oh shit.
He doesn't have a name
So because
tag.
I was the only one that talked to Wolfric, it's just Davina that knows her name right now.
I'm over there too.
Yeah, Eden was over there too.
Oh, I don't know her name. Sorry, I
Alright.
didn't know.
And actually now Boz knows her name because he pulled him over to the table that they were at. They're having their little talk right now.
It's Anne Marie.
So, I guess Polo's first move would be to look back and go, strange group of people, wouldn't you say?
Totally
Nice.
disown us.
Everyone just went out dancing.
The halfling girl with the pink hair just kind of looks up, kind of smiles at you, but then looks around confused, like, "Oh, where'd the line go?"
I have absolutely no idea.
Huh? Oh, they must have other things to attend to. How can I help you? And she just kind of puts her hands on the desk and she's just beaming at you.
All right. I'm trying to think what would be Polo's next move.
And you just kind of Ariel
Polo
sneak up
has
to
no
her
game.
side and be like, ask for her name.
Yeah, I guess that would be the next move.
yourself.
Wait, how are you trying to convey that to him?
Ariel's like over to the side where she can't, like, just beyond the window, and he's like, for her name.
Okay. So Polo's next move would be to say,
Davina, you're like on the whole other side of the room. There's no way he can hear you.
I'm just watching this as like, okay, this is chaos, but I'm going to enjoy this.
I don't think we've been properly introduced since I joined the Brave Blades. I'm Pelostris Garland.
Oh, I keep forgetting that's your full name.
Yeah.
I'm
even writing a fantasy book right now.
Nice.
So.
The girl just kind of smiles at you and goes like, Anne Marie, it's a pleasure. And she just kind of extends her hand.
I shake it like I
high five.
You just said extend, like you gotta be more specific. Like what does that mean?
Well, there's a giant desk between you and her.
All right.
There's very little you can do with her interaction.
I'm assuming it was for a handshake.
It is.
Okay, then I shake her hand.
Okay, good. And she actually has a nice firm grip.
Lady, I like her.
She's actually a man. No.
I'm not gonna do that to you.
She's got a penis.
That ain't no woman. It's a man,
It's a man,
man.
baby. That was just on today, actually.
She's got a penis.
All right, so
She's got pizzazz. She's got spark. But the one thing she's got that I don't like is a penis. Have you ever seen that America's Got Talent, that old guy?
I love that. That is one of my favorite bits.
That's who I aspire to be when I'm that age. Okay, yeah, Polo, what are you gonna do?
Polo's next question to her is, so how long have you been working for Brave Blades?
And she just kind of thanks for a moment, goes like, no, only about 5 years, actually. I mean, I never really had the skills to be a warrior myself, but I always wanted to help out, so they put me here. And it's always nice seeing all these new faces.
Really? Seems like a rough and tumble route.
Oh, everyone is very nice here. We're all on the same side, as everyone says.
Ask
And
her
I
if
kind
she
of
wants to go out
just
for a drink.
under my breath, I kind of just say,
What do you say?
under my breath, I say, I'll see that when I.
Oh.
All right, I'll believe that when I see it. So.
Okay.
But
Arios just kind of covers his mouth a little and goes, "Ask her for a drink if she wants to go for fun. Ask if she wants to get a drink with you."
I really. So
Yeah, look, no, do it what Yip's doing.
And Polo just kind of looks over there and just kind of squints for a second, and he's kind of like, and I think I get what he's trying to say.
You know, just to be nice, you don't have to roll a perception check. I would have made you do a perception check to see if you understood them, but I'll be nice and say you won't have to do that.
This bit is already going on too.
It's okay. I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but okay, so Polo does understand what Arios is. Polo goes, you know, I don't really know this city quite well. I could use someone who knows the city well to at least show me where at least where I should know where things are. Do you think maybe we could get a drink sometime or something?
Anne Marie actually just kind of like kind of backs up for a moment, but she still has that smile. Goes like, well, that would be very lovely. I'll see if I can. However, then she stops talking and she actually just kind of glances behind you for a moment. And he goes like, what's happening over there?
Is it the dancers?
It's not the dancers.
Oh no.
I think I have an idea of where this might be going, but
Okay, so you look behind. In fact, everyone else kind of looks behind, and you see what looks like a small commotion as what looks like one of those small Aasimar children that you rescued from, like, the slave trade. She's, like, randomly walking up to a bunch of hunters and, like, trying to get their attention. She seems to have, like, a tiny little bag in her other hand. But everyone seems to be, like, either ignoring her or much too busy to pay her any mind. And she's looking distressed.
I walk right the fuck over to her.
Wait, does Davina or am I the only one who sees this?
No, all of us do.
All of you do.
Oh, I thought you said
Oh,
yes.
okay.
No,
All right.
when Anne Marie spoke out loud, like, what's happening over there, you all kind of heard that. Except Boz, because you're busy talking with Volthric, delivering your report about what happened in the ruins.
I follow Davina.
And I'd like to point out, Arios would not really know what's going on.
No, he just sees kids.
I just see a kid walking around.
Yip
Oh yeah.
goes with Davina.
I walk right up to that little girl.
Yip goes with Davina, like instantly.
I turn back to the halfling and I say, I'll be right back. And I follow him.
Okay, so you all basically are running. So you all basically run over to the Aasimar child.
Wait. I'm assuming still being helped by this random.
Wait, say that again?
I'm still being helped because they think my foot is broken. So this is what I do.
Oh, yeah, so
I go.
you're indisposed right now.
No. This is what I do. I go as I see this happening. I point in the opposite direction and go, "Oh my God, what is that?" And then hoping he looks that way.
He does.
And then I run.
This poor schmuck who was just trying to help out this guy. Honestly, I swear.
You are all horrible people.
Oh yeah,
I was
no.
being honest.
Yeah, Polo, the ex-con, is like the most honest one here.
I was like, hey, we're trying to help out a friend. Come on, man.
I'm trying to be. Hey, Yip's trying to be a wingman.
You know, just.
Nice one.
None of that. So, anywho, you all walk up to the small Aasimar child. This is the girl who is of the pair that you guys rescued from the slave auction. And yeah, Arios, you have no idea who this kid is because you joined the team after. This Aasimar, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. The Aasimar child, like, is running, and then actually notices you, and her eyes go wide, and she just kind of scampers up to you, right up to Davina, and then she just kind of like grips your legs and is like hugging your legs for a moment, and she just seems very distraught right now.
I give her a big hug and I kneel down and I say, "What's wrong, sweetie?"
She just kind of looks up at you, and her face is red from recent tears that she had, and she just goes, "You saved me and my brother, but we have a big sister. She's still held."
Who we gotta fight?
Wait, do you know where she's at?
She got sold days ago, before you guys came. She was bought by the man with the long hair and the pointed ears.
Davina, that could be anybody. There's a lot of people. I have long hair in here.
Hold on. The man
They
with
look like a little
long hair and the pointed
Does he look like a bitch?
What?
Did he have a scar on his face?
The girl just kind of darts her eyes around, thinking for a moment, and then looks up and like nods.
No. Are you sure?
This could be anyone, Davina. Like,
I mean, like, I have a third cousin that has pointy ears, long hair, and a scar.
Okay.
And he kept complaining about his bitch of an ex-wife for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Technically not X, am I right?
They never did get that annulled.
So,
I killed him, okay? I did a good enough job, apparently.
well, Davina's assuming. I want to
Never-
bend down to like, sweetheart,
Never in my life did I think Davina's marital problems would be a running gag in this campaign. I just want to say.
Meanwhile, at this time,
I gave Evan full reign. I said, "Do with this plot what you will," and he did.
you really do.
Meanwhile, at this time, Volthric and Boz, seeing the commotion, both walk up to the party, because I want you to have one last interaction before we say goodbye to Boz, at least till next time, because I plan to have like repeat appearances on Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, Boz and Volthric walk up to the party, and he kind of looks at all of your concerned faces and goes like, "What's going on?"
We gotta beat up this punk ass bitch.
Do you actually say that?
No.
Okay.
I say to Volthric, okay, so I haven't been completely honest with you when I filled out my form. My name is Davina Belmaris, and I'm, I guess, still Navarre Belmaris' wife. Fortunately.
When you say Navarre's full name, you actually can, all of you see this. You see Volthric just kind of grimace for a moment. And just kind of shake his head.
And this Aasimar child, her older sister is still, she was sold to that family.
I just want to ask a question, that's it. And I sent it to you, Evan, of like, because I've been trying to do this for a while. I asked the little girl, how old is her sister? Just so we get a rough idea of how urgent, because of Davina's past. Because if it's, he's going to do a thing, it's now. Because she's still underage.
Well, if you think about it, you don't know how messed up this guy is.
You think he's gonna marry her?
What?
Don't
Okay,
say
wait a
that.
minute, hold up, wait a minute. Think he's gonna try and marry her?
You don't know.
That or worse.
Or marry her off. You know.
But this,
or
but
other things.
the little girl answers you, and she goes like, 17 autumns.
Yeah. No, this is an urgent. We need to go now.
We need to leave. We need to go now.
But however, Volthric, like, he raises a hand, and like, you all just feel like this intense will, like, oh shit. He kneels down and he looks like right at the little girl who is like cowering behind Davina right now, behind her, like, her legs. Because yeah, this little girl only goes up to your hip. She's a small. She is a small.
I protect.
Volthric looks at the girl and then looks at each of you. The Balmarises have always been the types of people who thinks that they can just skirt around our rules and not expect any consequences. But of course, we can't exactly do anything because we have to follow the rules as well. That being said, if there is indeed anything illegal that they are involved in, would you accept this as a mission? And at that very moment, the little girl, like, hearing this, like, the chance of you accepting, she, like, tugs on Davina's leg a bit, and then she just kind of holds out this little bag for you. What do you do?
I push it towards her and I say, no, take that. Even if, and I turn to the group, even if you guys will not take this mission, I will do it myself.
I'm coming with you. I have no questions.
You ain't going alone in this.
I'm not. I don't need to know the whole story about everything. I'm coming with. I don't know.
Cause we are a party. We stick
I do not
together.
separate family together.
We make each other strong again, though we
And
are
I turn to the little girl and I say, no matter what it takes, we'll get your sister back.
All right. So Volthric looks at you all, and he just smiles as he then stands up, once again reminding you that he towers over all of you. Again, this guy's basically Reinhardt. And he smiles, and then he just kind of taps his giant sword into the ground for a moment. Well, consider this your next mission. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session right there.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you so much for watching this. We'll be posting this on YouTube sometime tomorrow, hopefully. And
that was good.
Be prepared for next session. Will we finally figure out how to deal with the Balmaris family? Will we rescue the slave girl from the Balmaris' hold? Will Polo ever actually get a girlfriend?
The world will never know.
Join us next time
On Song of the Wild.
Danger now.
So thanks a lot, guys, for watching.
Bye, everybody.